Well, like this...
With my mud
I thought
from Joe's house!
Right? I thought this was like from...
Semen?
Ketchup or something that just... In the half hour that I had it, it just somehow appeared. Or maybe I just didn't notice and it was just...
Ketchup?
Something that it printed out on. Because they're printed and immediately shipped. I guess.
Yeah. It'll take it out of there. I'm casting couching it today.
Okay.
Well, here's all your beer. Would you throw these bad boys in there too?
Ow!
Yeah, that probably didn't feel good. That probably did not feel good.
Fuck!
You shouldn't do that. I got really fucking triggered earlier when I was on break because I was scrolling through Facebook. Here you go. And then I saw fucking Austin's post from last night about the fucking passion fruit guava nasty fucking shit. And he was raving about how delicious it is.
Yeah.
It is not delicious.
No. I mean, I don't know.
It is not fucking delicious.
It was at the brewery.
It's fine, but he's not at the brewery. He's at his home.
Apparently he has a good batch or something.
It was from all the same fucking batch.
Or he also told me that I should have rolled it because it gets the sediment going. Or something in there because the sediment falls to the bottom.
Right.
And I don't know.
But if you store your beer horizontally, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Either way, it was fucking nasty. Do you have any topics?
I got one topic.
Okay, I have a couple. I want to talk about the Meg.
You saw it?
No, I haven't seen it.
God damn it! I wanted
to go fucking see it with you, but you told me I couldn't. So when else am I gonna go see it? By myself?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't go to the fucking movies by myself. I'm not Joe.
I did. That was fine.
When did you go see it by yourself?
Oh, I mean, I'm talking in general. I saw movies by myself.
Yeah, I did when I was a teenager, and I didn't have friends.
I saw Civil War, Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse.
You're pathetic.
Kong Skull Island. I saw a bunch of movies by myself. There's nothing wrong with it.
I loathe you.
I know.
So why does AJ keep backing out?
Oh, he only backed out last week. Or for this week.
You literally said AJ has to reschedule again. That was the text that you sent me.
Yeah, so it's just next week. I can't remember why he said this week, but...
What about Zach? I thought Zach was coming.
I thought that's all for next week.
Yeah, I thought Zach and AJ were the same week. Meaning today.
That's next week.
Yeah, originally it was today.
Yeah, well...
That's what I'm getting at.
I didn't talk to Zach until this weekend, so he's hopefully good, depending on his schedule.
Okay. Travis said I'm really going to like this. I really like apricots, so...
I'm pretty sure they've had that on Brews with Dudes before.
Ooh. That is an interesting flavor. Taste that. It's an interesting smell, for sure.
Okay. Is that a Berliner?
No. It's sour.
Yeah, it tastes like... It has like the same consistency as a Berliner, though.
Sour ale. Are you confused? What are you confused about?
I'm trying to think of something to say for the stream.
Episode 51?
Yeah, episode 51.
Hold on, I'm going to throw a title your way. Either type it... Hold on. I'm going to throw a title your way. Either type it on, or type it in, or ignore me, and type whatever you're going to say. Reflections?
Yeah, that's what...
Episode 51. Reflections and stupidity.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the word reflect, but it wasn't coming.
And obviously the episode title doesn't have to be that.
Yeah.
But
going live. And this is already all set up. Just got to need to room, me, you, everybody else.
does my mic work today? I can see the wafer, the little red thing.
We'll do a test right now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going. Talk. Say shit.
Hey!
There it is. Alright, we're good. It records. Oh, what's up, Pod Daddy?
Yee. Hey!
Did you see Aaron Sperling comment on
Yes.
all around music?
Yes, I did. But I figured we should just start talking about like reflections and then that, because that's our first crossover.
Definitely.
Hopefully, of many more to come.
Definitely.
I had a good time. I'll just talk about it on the show when we actually start. What's Nate?
Oh
have to say?
shit. He's getting ready to record Journey into Wrestling Season 3, Episode 2 with Matt Waite.
Cool.
So we got Matt Waite on there. Tell Matt I said hey. Tell Matt we said hey.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten about him. We're still going to reach out to him. We're still trying to come up with ideas. Blaine is an idiot, so this takes a while. What did he say after
He
that?
said, also, Tyler, I missed you on Saturday, bro.
I'm sorry. Family life.
Hopefully. Oh no. Lag. Oh well.
It's not bad.
It's
It's
not-
not as bad as it used.
Yeah,
I think you're just overanalyzing it. Honestly. That's not that bad.
It's not as bad as it was. Alright, let's just get into this. Yep.
Parenting sucks sometimes.
Ah!
Not like you see on TV.
I love your show, man, but this fucking bumper kills me.
It's not what the perfect Facebook moms try to make it seem.
I love these.
Kids are loud.
Do you know what these are?
Yeah, I know what they are.
I left them in, so
Kids
hopefully they...
always
I don't know
make
if they're gonna
messes.
play since it's gonna record over.
On Kids for Sale, we explore
No, that
the
should
reality of being parents. The parts that aren't fun. The parts
Just
that
stack
nobody
them all on
wants
top
to
of each
admit to
other.
Because being a parent is hard. And sometimes the only thing that makes
Shouldn't
it
they just
easier
be stacked on
is
top of
hearing
each
how
other?
bad it sucks for someone else. So join us on Kids for Sale every other Friday
We'll try it.
on the Journey into Comics Network.
The following journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey
I
into
love that,
comics.
by the way.
Network.
Really glad you
Network
Production.
Fuck you, Iraq.
That's so fucking awesome!
Your excitement is so pure.
It's like I was a young boy again. Yeah, I'm really digging this.
That's not bad.
It's really good.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Podcastrophe, episode 51. I am your host, Dick, and with me is Tyler, the co-host.
Coming at you from the casting couch this week.
How have you been this week?
Well, it's Tuesday.
It's been a few days.
It's literally been a few days.
A lot shorter time gap than we normally have. Normally it's a full week.
Right. I'm doing all right.
That's good.
Had a good weekend. Didn't get my grass mowed like I planned because of the damn rain.
I made Joe mow yesterday.
I mean, it literally is his house, so
Yeah.
he should be the one mowing it.
Yeah,
anyway.
he called in yesterday, and like Miranda's been getting pretty tired of doing it every single week, or not every single week, but
Yeah, I don't know why you guys would mow his fucking grass
yeah,
anyway.
it's like it's a matter of like her kids want to play out in the yard, and like I keep telling her like they can deal with the tall grass that apparently they've been
There's
complaining about.
anacondas out there.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm like, she's like, she just gets tired of waiting on him to
Right.
do it, so she just goes ahead and does it, and finally, yes.
You know what that is?
Huh?
That's enabling him to continue to be
Oh,
the
I
way
know.
that he
That's
is.
why I don't do things. Because one, I'm lazy.
Step 1, stop doing things.
One, I'm lazy. Two, I know if I start, I'm always going to be doing it.
Yep.
I've experienced this in several different apartments with several different roommates.
Roommates suck, man.
Oh yeah. So
I
yesterday.
married one, and that sucked too.
So yesterday. Nice.
Being a roommate sucked.
Yesterday he took the day off, and at some point I was like, "Hey, dude, you should probably mow before it rains." He's like, "Wow, I just looked at the forecast and I was putting on my shoes to go do that." And I text Miranda that I was like, "Hey, Joe's about to go mow." He goes, "He's laying in his bed."
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. He was probably laying in bed
Yeah.
when he said, I was getting ready to put my shoes on, go
Well,
mow.
I came home and it was done. Good for him.
Yeah, you did a thing.
He did a thing.
Gold star.
Oh my god, you open his bedroom and it's just the worst smelling piss smell ever.
Ah,
Shout out Joe.
ah.
I don't know how he could live like that.
Uh.
I don't know how you could sleep in that.
Desensitized.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, he's gonna get sick. He's gonna get sick. All that piss and shit in the air.
Yeah.
Ah. Anyway,
Let's please move on
let's
from that.
please, for the love of fuck, move on. So we had a lot of fun stuff last week.
We did.
We had our episode 50, which we're gonna talk a lot about, because
We're going to reflect on a reflection episode.
Yes, we're gonna reflect on episode 50. One of the things is a big announcement that we made 2.5 hours into it. No, 3 hours into our 3.5 hour episode.
Yep.
So I feel it's imperative that we talk about that announcement at the beginning of this episode, so that way people will actually know about it.
Well, and I talked to a couple of the people that normally watch our episodes, and they're like, "Man, I just couldn't sit there for 3 hours.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
how.
rough.
I don't know how anyone could sit and listen to a 3-hour podcast." And I guess I just look at it differently.
Yeah.
I don't sit down every
No,
week and say, "Man,
it's
we're
always-
gonna make this fucking 3 hours long and we're gonna
Right.
do it." But the episode that we did with Only Human, or half
That was-
of Only Human.
That was 3
That was a
hours.
3-hour episode, but it was really good. We were having good conversation. That was the first time that I had officially met those guys, so we were kind of feeling each other out and getting to know each other. We're great friends now, so a lot of good came from that 3-hour long episode. But episode 50, we brought back our original guest. Brandon's been really busy, obviously, with work at Subaru. I've been really busy, and on top of that, I'm getting ready to start school. So I've been extra busy with my personal life on top of all of the podcasts and extra project stuff that I've got going on.
Yeah.
We both have families to take care of and raise now. But I didn't think it was forced, and
Not at all.
if you can listen to 3 hours of music continuously, you can listen to 3 hours of podcast continuously.
Oh yeah, and
Obviously, we're not Joe Rogan.
yeah.
We're not Rooster Teeth.
A lot of people don't even just. It's not like the podcast that they're listening to is the only thing they're doing.
Right.
Like a lot of people just drive with the podcast. A
Yeah.
lot of people, like I work out with the podcast. I very rarely just. Oh, I'm gonna sit down and listen to a podcast right now.
Well, when I'm at home,
And then I just zone out.
if I'm cooking dinner, I'll put a podcast on.
Yeah,
in
I'll
the
do the
background.
same. I'm always doing something with
A
it.
lot of times while I'm cooking dinner is when I get to listen to Journey into Comics. And I'm never caught up on Nate's newest episode. I'm always a couple weeks behind. Just because I listen to our show every week just to make sure that I didn't say anything extremely dumb. And I like our show anyway.
Yeah, me too.
But it's fun to go back and listen to some of the topics that we've talked about so we don't beat the dead horse. We had a whole episode that was devoted to beating the dead horse, so I think it's good that you and I go back and listen to it. because then it's like, okay, next week we can adjust this a little bit and make it better. We don't always do that.
No.
But you know, while I'm cooking dinner, I'll put a podcast on. You know, it might only take me 25 minutes to cook dinner, but that's 25 minutes of that episode, and then the next time that I'm going to listen to something, I just pick up right where I left off.
Yeah.
I don't see why you can't do that. So don't be afraid, listeners and viewers, of that 3-hour long podcast. It's not bad, and I was pretty drunk during it, so I mean, shit, sit down for 3 hours and fucking make fun of me. I mean, I do that to myself. I make fun of him. I make fun of him for like 2.5 hours of that podcast. So
It's true.
I mean, it's just what we do. But we don't sit down and plan that every week. So, you know, we've only had a couple episodes that were really that long. The Only Human episode, that one, and
Most
then
episodes.
Podcastrophe, of course.
Yeah.
We ran that one a little long.
Most episodes go about 2.5 hours at the longest.
Mhm.
And then there's, I mean, we try to usually cap it off at the 2-hour mark.
Mhm.
So.
Again, because we have personal lives.
Yeah, exactly.
You've normally got something delicious to go eat.
Mm-hmm.
So
See, last week I didn't have anything going
We had
on
a-
after, so
we had a very nice Taco Bell date.
yes, that's all I had to look forward to after the show.
Yes.
Hanging out with you.
Yes. All of this.
Yes, all of it.
But so yeah, we had a really good episode. It was good. It was good catching up with Brandon again. I'm gonna be on his show, him and Mike's show, Game Addicts, the 29th. We're gonna record that episode. I don't know when that episode will drop, but I look forward to sitting down and talking some games and nerding out with him and Mike, because I obviously haven't seen Mike, you know, for 2 months now.
Yeah.
But we also did another thing this past week, Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night we were guests on the All Around Music podcast.
And we got to kick it with some cool dudes and kind of do an impromptu episode of Podcastrophe.
Yeah, honestly.
I didn't really plan for it to be that way, and I'm pretty sure I said it like 10 times during their stream or while we were recording that I didn't plan on us hijacking their show. I was fully prepared to sit down and, you know, for lack of a better term, debate some music, because just like everything else in my life, I've got some pretty strong opinions when it comes to music.
Yeah.
Um,
I think those crossover episodes are cool though, because you know that, I mean, especially if like one show is topical and the other's not.
right.
And like we were guests, so of course we were bringing ourselves,
Mhm.
you know, like our taste of things to
Our presence.
and our theme of our show to their show. So when they come here, maybe they can talk about music all
Yeah.
the time or some shit like that. You know?
I
Or we
really-
just do a repeat of what we did.
Right. Well, I really look forward to getting them on the show, especially, you know, we've been talking about doing that initial crossover and the crossover that inevitably is going to happen after that for over 6 months now. You know, we've been talking about doing that since late October, early
Yeah.
November of last year. And it just so happened that this past week was when we could finally get the first leg of it done. I'm really glad
Oh, yeah.
we did. You know, we had a lot of good topics.
Yeah, I straight up hit Matt up. I'm like, hey dude, let's get the ball rolling on
Yeah,
this.
let's get this fucking
do
thing
this.
done.
So of course that led to it actually happening,
Right.
thankfully.
It's amazing what some initiative will do for
I know.
you.
It's great.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed, like, one thing specifically from that episode that I really enjoyed was when I brought up the space junk.
Oh yeah.
Just
And
seeing
then
the
we
look on their faces when they pulled up that
Oh
map.
yeah.
I mean, it was just pure and utter bewilderment, which was the same reaction that I had when I listened to Rogan and DeGrasse Tyson bring that up on 949, I believe is the episode number. Might be 959. I can't remember. Rogan's got so many fucking episodes.
Yeah.
He's 1,200 plus now, I think.
God damn.
That's 1,200 mostly different people.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fucking people that he's interviewed.
Rooster Teeth's on 505, and they've been doing it almost 10 years.
Right.
I think they did like a hiatus for a little bit on it. And...
Well, you got to take a break.
Well, I think
I mean, there's gonna come a time in Podcastrophe. You know, I would
more than
imagine
likely.
episode 150, we'll probably take a month off.
Yeah.
And just go through some of our backlog, kind of cut together some, you know, greatest hits of Podcastrophe and maybe do a couple hangouts, but eventually we are going to take a month off.
Oh yeah.
It's inevitable.
The thing about Rooster Teeth was, I think that when they started the podcast, they didn't know they were just going to keep doing it.
Right.
They didn't know if that was going to be a thing. They were just testing the waters, really.
Right. Well, that's not really anything different than we're doing.
Oh, exactly.
You know, we plan on going as long as we want, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we just hit episode 50. We're not looking at episode 500 by any means. We want to just continually upgrade our setup and kind of the format of our show until we really dial it in and find out what we like, and obviously what everybody that's listening or watching this likes, and then we'll go from there.
Which, you know, viewers, listeners, everyone out there, you're always more than welcome to, you know, post to our page, leave us a review, comment on our videos, send us an email at podcastrophe@gmail.com, and give us suggestions. Tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what you want to see and hear on the show.
Yeah.
And we'll take it into consideration. More than likely implement it, because
more than likely we'll talk about it.
We're always up for things. You know, give us stuff to talk about. We are down for that as well.
You know, I tested the waters with the poll thing for a couple weeks, and now I don't have lunch at Subaru every day to sit down and say, what am I going to post today? I just haven't had time to dick with that. I may test the waters again and do like one poll a week here, or one poll a month, and see kind of where we end up with that.
Yeah.
I haven't quite decided. You know, you and I have the ability, which we still need to kind of sit down and go through, but I have the ability to live stream and record from my home, kind of Podcastrophe Doomsday Bunker number 2. But, I mean, that's a good opportunity for you and I to kind of do our own live hangouts.
Yes.
You like to do it. You know, this is kind of your man cave anyway. And I've got my own in the throne room, so there's no reason that we can't pump some more stuff out.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, we could always like come together on those hangouts, and, you know, actually hang out in person more.
Right.
But we could hang out over the web.
Yeah, we could just
for those things.
web sling.
Oh, yeah. Web slinging.
Good God.
We're dumb.
We are fucking dumb.
So we had a huge announcement on episode 50.
Thank you for getting us back to that, because
Yes.
I already forgot that you
We had a
brought that
huge
up.
announcement that we are moving from the Journey into Comics network feed to our own feed. That doesn't mean that we are not on the Journey into Comics network. We are still on the Journey into Comics network.
Correct.
However, we have our own feed. You can subscribe directly to us, and you can get a lot more content from us, hopefully, if I can stay on it.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
we can stay on it.
That should be fully up and implemented by episode 55.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
Our goal is to have it up by episode 55. Hi, Mom! I haven't gotten to do that on the show yet.
Yeah, you have.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like 20 episodes ago.
Oh, well.
Good job. You did it again.
My mom's here. Yeah, I'm so excited to get the ball rolling on the feed. Hopefully we're going to drop out a new logo by that point. Like I said, tons more content. We're start making our own shirts, which you can still get the shirts at the Journey into Comics web store. I'm wearing the Rolo The Destroyer T-shirt, and it looks nice. And I also got my Heritage shirt. Check that out.
You know the first thing that I think of when I look at that shirt? Remember the old show Kablam?
Yes!
That's what I think of immediately
Fuck
when I
yeah.
look at the font that they use for Heritage is Kablam.
I love it.
I love Kablam. I miss that fucking show.
That's where, like, the Fairly Odd Parents got their start, isn't it?
Mhm.
And then they had the, what was that little mini show with the action figures and stuff?
I don't remember what it's called, but it was part of Kablam.
Like, there was, like, Invisible Girl, The Flesh.
Yeah.
He was the naked, it's like the He-Man doll without any clothes on.
Yeah, and then there was the one that was all, like, melted and
Yeah.
deformed. But speaking of the 90s, I went to a 90s trivia night at a bar downtown here last week. And we rolled in with very low expectations. We'd never been to this bar before. And then everybody that showed up was, like, I'm gonna say mid to late 30s.
Action League now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Austin.
Early 40s, like adults, and we fucking nailed 3rd place in this trivia night. It was all 90s themed. It made me feel really good about myself. Skylar got like 3 questions right, and the team agreed to not go with those answers, and they all ended up being right, so we lost points.
Sometimes you gotta listen to your woman, man.
Not very often do I come to that crossroads. I mean, I can't help it. Shit. But yeah, we had a good time. It was Thursday? Yeah, Thursday night. And then you saw the Meg this weekend, right?
I saw the Meg last night.
Last night?
Yeah.
How was that?
The Meg... Wow. The Meg was excellent. It's... By no means is it a fucking knock it out of the park movie. But it was very...
But it's a knock it out of the park movie.
It was very entertaining. Jason Statham was great.
Jason Statham's always good.
Yeah, you know, he wasn't like super big action star in this movie. He was actually a character.
Cool.
It was very fun. It was very entertaining. It was very... It's a movie that doesn't take itself insanely serious.
How long is the movie?
Oh, shit. I don't...
Is it less than 2 hours?
I want to say it is. I think we got out of there... It was a 7 o'clock show. No, 6:50 showing.
So just say 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7
By the time
o'clock.
the movie starts.
It might have been a 2-hour show.
Okay.
Close. It was somewhere around there, but it was very good.
The way somebody described it to me was very high quality, very well done B movie.
I would
so
say,
think of the best B movie you've ever seen.
I would say
to me
like,
that's Tremors.
I would say like B+, A- movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't tell me that the original Tremors movie isn't a good movie, because it is a good movie.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
very well
sure.
done. The effects are well done. The cast is very good. So to me, if I had to throw something on the wall and say, "Yep, this is the best B movie ever," that would be Tremors for me personally. And I've heard it compared to that type of quality.
Yeah,
it's good enough. It's good enough that if you were flipping through TV right now and it was on, you would probably watch it.
Okay. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I mean, you said somebody described it as a like take all the sci-fi movies that like Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus or Mega Croc and all that.
Yeah, Dino Croc.
Dino
7.
Croc. You take any of those movies and actually make them good.
Yeah.
I would say that's going a bit far. I would say it's still better than that.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, the way that it was described to me is you take all of those movies, smash them into one, and then make it the best movie that it could possibly be, is what The Meg turns into.
Yeah, it's great. There are moments where there are no overly cheesy moments. Like, everything fits within this movie. And it's so good. I highly recommend go see The Meg.
I wanted to see it.
Go see it.
Now I don't have nobody to see it with.
Go see it by yourself.
I'm not going to the fucking movies by myself.
You should.
I'm fucking 26 years old. I'm not gonna go sit in the movie theater and jack off while I'm watching The Meg.
Just don't jack off.
What's the point in going?
We're at a crossroads here. I don't know what to do.
I don't know how to answer this question.
I don't know what else to do you.
This is a conundrum. Oh shit.
To keep telling him to not jack off in a movie theater or just let him do his thing. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
There is no right answer. You're wrong no matter what. You ready for a topic?
Hit me.
It's kind of triggering me a little bit. Disney is standing their ground on James Gunn.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not happy about it.
So this... Okay, so you and I are fans of Star Wars, fans of Marvel, fans of everything that Disney has done and is continuing to do. You and I both enjoyed Solo. We thought that, especially Alden Ehrenreich did not deserve kind of the backlash that Solo put on him. His performance was a lot better than we originally thought it was going to be, and how the media kind of hyped it up to be. The opposite of hyping it up. So, basically just shitting on it. You know, I have my qualms with Kathleen Kennedy. I don't think she's ruining the Star Wars franchise, because you and I both really enjoyed The Last Jedi, but then on second watch, and I know Brandon kind of feels the same way. We didn't have that same experience that we had in the theaters.
Yeah.
You know, after we went and saw The Last Jedi, we talked for fucking 3 hours, you know, into the wee hours of the morning.
It's about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting pretty late. We were all pretty sleepy boys.
I was very glad I was already staying in Frankfurt.
Right. But, you know, even with all of that, my opinion, Kathleen Kennedy needs to go, and they need to put somebody else in charge and kind of steer the ship. I think J.J. Abrams will do a good job with the next film, but there always has to be a head to roll. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put that on. I'm not gonna put that on the Kasdans. You know, because that's Star Wars royalty. Obviously.
I mean, they're done regardless.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna put the blame on them.
Oh no, they wrote excellent movies.
Right. Ultimately, it's on Kathleen Kennedy. So, if I was a high up Disney executive, I would say, okay, well, we appreciate what you've done, you know, for the franchise and the brand. You know, we're gonna move you somewhere else. We're not gonna fire you. We're not gonna get rid of you. We're just gonna move you over here to this other project. Kind of let you spread your wings and do your own thing. Maybe something not so established, with, you know, fans literally with torches and pitchforks in the fucking street saying we need to kill Kathleen Kennedy. And then, you know, everything with the last couple Star Wars movies has brought a lot of backlash onto the actors and actresses of that franchise. I mean, as far as the actors and actresses have fucking removed their social media accounts.
Yeah.
We should not be driven to that point as fans. It's wrong.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, we have to key in on kind of what's, you know, of all the variables in this situation, and I think Kathleen Kennedy is the easy choice. Let's just push her over to the side, move her to something else. Obviously, you know, like I said already, definitely don't fire her, because she is a talented individual, and she's doing a good job leading a company. There just needs to be some change there. But the James Gunn thing, it's
too much.
I can't,
you know,
I can't stand by it and agree that this is okay. I don't condone anything that he said in the past. He does not condone anything that he said in the past. He is legitimately regretful of the things that he said. And, you know, you and I have talked before. You and I have both said some really fucked up stuff to the point where it's like, hey man, we probably shouldn't say that. The issue is not that he said the things, it's that he said them on the internet. And that's where I have a problem with this. The internet is a free tool. If he said those things on his time and not Disney's time. So if he tweeted, I hate black people from the set of Guardians 3, you are on Disney's time.
No.
That is an issue.
Oh, definitely.
Saying you hate black people is an issue.
You know,
don't torch and pitchfork me, folks. I'm just using this as an example because it's really easy and it resonates with everybody. But if he says that on his own personal time, which we as people have, that's none of Disney's business.
No. Not to mention, I don't think he was even working for Disney at that time.
Correct.
Somebody, it was one of the people on, one of the guys on the Game Over Grady show, Kind of Funny.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually talking about this, I think the episode came out last Friday. He said those things in a time where we could basically just completely murder people verbally on the internet, and no one would
still be able to.
No one would bat an eye. Now you say the tiniest little thing, and everybody's all up in arms.
You're dumb.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that you think that.
I was saying, you're
I
dumb,
know.
and then you fucking have an aneurysm because I said that you were dumb. Good God. We'll get through this episode, folks, I promise. But yeah, you know, you have the entire cast of Guardians 3. I'm just going to say the Guardians, because it's easier. You have the Guardians standing up for James Gunn. You have other people in the A-list stars.
You have your top actors saying, hey, he does not deserve this. And you're just like, Disney's just like, you guys can fuck off too.
Yeah.
Basically.
So here's the conundrum we're in, and I don't know what's going to happen. I want your opinion more than anything. So number one, do you think that the actors will stand their ground and not film this movie? Just simple yes or no.
They said that they were going to not film this movie if they didn't use his script.
Okay.
So they're still using his script.
Okay. So number two, do you think that this script is presented to them? Disney is going to change it. They are not going to leave it intact.
Well, it's not going to be Disney. It's going to be whoever ends up directing it.
Right.
Like they're gonna put their own spin on that script.
How many of basically what I'm getting at is the actors have stated we are not going to participate in this film if you do not either bring him back and or use his script. What he has written is the movie that we agreed to make.
Yeah.
And if Disney, obviously it's not legally binding because it's a movie script. But say you're the new director and I'm Chris Pratt and you hand me the new script and I look at it and there's red lines everywhere and 90% of the script has been changed, technically that's still James Gunn's script. It's just been altered.
Yeah.
Where I would stand on it is, fuck you, pal. This is not the movie that I agreed to make. This is not the script that I agreed to act upon. You can go fuck yourself. And then I am not bound by that contract anymore, but that's not how it's going to play out, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. But
I think they're going to have to... The movie is either going to get canceled or they're going to have to make the movie regardless, and it's going to be shit.
I think it'll be canceled before anything because I think the actors will stand their ground, and I think they will.
I hope they do. I really hope they do.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy movie is absolutely nothing without those characters.
Correct.
Without those actors in those characters'
It's
roles.
nothing without that director. The reason the Guardians movies are some of the best films, I have my qualms with the second Guardians movie. Don't get me wrong. It is definitely not better than the first one. But what made that first film so great, obviously it's the cast. I've said it on every episode of every podcast I've ever been on where we've talked about anything Marvel or DC related. What makes or breaks those films is the cast. The writing can be shit, but as long as the cast nails it, if you cast the right people, the movie is going to be great in my mind. I'm going to be entertained. But the reason the Guardians films were so great is because you had all of those actors. Batista was finally coming to terms with how he could improve and become an actor. You know, you had Zoe Saldana, who is an established actress already. She's, probably the most experienced actor in that bunch besides Bradley Cooper, and he wasn't acting, he was just voice acting, which some would say is more difficult. But, Chris Pratt was a TV show guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't, he's not a silver screen guy. That was his make or break role. They all nailed it. Every single person in that film nailed it. From Chris Pratt to Benicio del Toro.
Lee Pace.
What?
Lee Pace.
Yeah.
Who's coming back for Captain Marvel?
Yeah, I'm really
fucking
that. I really like him.
Ronan the Accuser.
But fucking Dewey Cox, what the fuck's that guy's name?
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly, thank you. His character, however small, a role that it played in the film, his parts were very well done. Everything was done to the nines, and it was all because of James Gunn. He fucking brought that entire cast together and made that film great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you're not going to have the same chemistry. You're not going to have the same kind of film.
No.
The second movie was kind of there. It had a lot of the same aspects. It had fucking Kurt Russell in it, so how can you complain about that? I'd fucking blow Kurt Russell if he walked in this room right now in front of you on the live stream. Ban us, Facebook. I don't care.
We'll go to Twitch.
We'll go to Twitch. Or fucking Mixer. No, we won't go to Mixer. God.
MyFreeCamps.com.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how Disney can, in good conscience, say, we are willing to not make this money. Because we are not going to make this money without James Gunn. With this cast of characters and this part of the franchise, the money is not there without that whole synergy. I'm sorry. I'm sure you don't disagree with me.
Yeah, I think you're very right, because James Gunn made those movies, and James Gunn and the cast made those movies.
Yes.
They made you care about these characters and
That no one had ever heard about.
No one had heard about, no one gave a fuck about, except for like the super nerds that are still in their fucking mom's basement.
I knew about the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Super
I
nerd.
read those comics when I was a kid.
Super nerd in your mom's basement.
Fuck off. I read those comics when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I loved those characters. James Gunn and Disney changed what those characters are. Yondu is not the same
No.
in the movies that he is in the comics. I didn't care because it was so fucking well done. And it is not going to be that way going forward. I'm sorry. I would be thoroughly impressed, surprised. I would be willing to fucking stand on the street corner and say, hey folks, I was wrong. If they put out Guardians 3 and it is the same caliber or better than Guardians 2, I don't see it happening.
There are only a couple circumstances in which I see it happening, and you've seen me going on about it in the group chat.
Mhm.
If Taika Waititi does it, I think. I mean, he made Thor 3 so well. He did.
But
such
I
a
don't.
good
I
job
don't
with that.
feel the same way about Ragnarok as you do.
I loved Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was a great Guardians film.
Yeah.
It was not a good Thor movie. So as much as
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but that's a problem. That's the director not making a movie about their character. It's making a movie about some other characters. So I appreciate and I acknowledge that the talent is there to make a good film, but you're making a film about a specific character that you did not do well.
I don't know. So Chris Hemsworth, he's been doing Thor now for over 10 years,
Mhm.
or close to. I think Taika Waititi took that character and he just upped a couple of its traits like to fucking 11. He amped like the comedy, the
Right.
improv.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm
all
not
of-
saying
all of
Ragnarok is a
Thor's-
bad film. I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't misunderstand
all
me.
of Thor's little like quirks and like smart ass remarks like just up to fucking 11. I loved it.
But okay, so part of the reason that I don't rank that movie super high is you're taking a Thor film, a Guardians film, and the Planet Hulk storyline, and you're wedging them all together, and it worked.
Mhm.
But it did not work very well. The Hulk's parts were really kind of shitty. Especially this, you can't tell me that the stuff with Banner was good, because it was not.
It relied.
That was
relied
the
way too
worst
much-
part of the film.
It relied way too much on humor.
Yeah, and it should not have. Tom Hiddleston's parts in the film were fantastic. Obviously, Chris Hemsworth's parts in the film were fantastic.
Mhm.
I
wanted more. I love how
Goldblum. I wanted more Goldblum.
I definitely wanted more Goldblum, but no, I was.
Carl Urban. You wanted more Carl Urban?
I did.
Because I wanted more Carl
I
Urban
wanted more
too.
Carl Urban too. Side note here, I love how we just transitioned into Thor Ragnarok review, but
That was the
I
first
wanted
movie
more.
that you and I ever saw together.
It was.
That's our special movie. Boop. That was a little stronger than a boop, but we could have booped. Here. Boop.
I wanted more the Valkyrie stuff. I wanted
Absolutely.
more of that background,
Mhm.
like the Hela's background, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, see, that's part of the reason.
Austin Welch wants a standalone Korg movie.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
There were parts of that film that were very well done, and the film overall was great, or really good. But when I left the theater, it was a good movie. But I'm also a person that thinks Thor: The Dark World is a better film than the first one. So I'm not necessarily the best person to judge Thor movies, because though I don't think the second film was done as well as the first film, the second film was a lot more interesting. The first film had nothing. Oh, I lost my hammer. Oh, I'm stuck on Earth. Oh, I'm nailing Natalie Portman. All cool things.
See,
Oh, the only thing I fight in the whole movie is some shit fucking junk enemies in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then I fight the Destroyer. Oh no, what a good movie.
Matt Walker of All Around Music says, that's the problem that I think Marvel is running into. The movies that are titled to focus on one Avengers character are pretty much gone. they're involving more and more Avengers into standalone movies. Yeah.
The only argument that I would have against that is the Captain America films. Because the way that the Captain America films have been done, and I hope continue to be done, I don't know that it could work just focusing on Cap the entire movie.
Yeah.
Because what makes Cap great is how he brings great people, or he has great people surrounding him, and how he leads those people, and how he gets those people to work together. That's what makes Captain America great. It's not the shield, it's not the super strength or the super speed. It's how he has the ability to lead people, and I don't know that you could do a Cap film without focusing on that, but I think that's the only exception, and I totally agree with what you're saying. While we're talking about Thor, let's say they make another Thor movie. How are you going to focus on Thor at this point without Tom Hiddleston?
Ooh.
That would be very difficult. You would have to bring in a great supporting cast, i.e. Thor Ragnarok, with Korg and Valkyrie and other cool people. Just focusing on Thor, you're not going to be able to do it. The film would suck.
Loki really he was an excellent villain while still being a protagonist.
He was the mirror image of Thor.
Yeah.
So that's what makes Loki great. Tom Hiddleston's performance, when you have Hemsworth and Hiddleston on screen at the same time, you have ultra masculine, cracking jokes and talking shit to people, Hemsworth, and then you have the complete antithesis of that. You have Tom Hiddleston being really sly and only very rarely actually showing anger and rage type emotions, but then he's cracking jokes and being real coy at the same time.
Yeah.
They're mirror images of each other, and that's what makes those two characters so great. Unless they resurrect Loki in Avengers 4, which they may or may not do. I kind of hope that they don't.
Yeah,
because his end was so fitting for Thor's storyline. I think Thor had the strongest storyline in Infinity War.
He really did.
That's my opinion. He made Infinity War great.
I loved Thor's character arc in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much pain in it, and there's so much, and it's a revenge story for him. And it's like when he finally gets Stormbreaker and just unleashes all fucking Helheim.
Yeah.
Like what I did there.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
And he just goes to town on all the fucking children of Thanos and all, and just all the lightning all over him, and he's just taking no fucking prisoners.
Just vengeance. He is taking his vengeance.
Yeah. And he appears on Earth with his own Bifrost, and he's like, Thanos, bring me Thanos. And he's just yelling, just to the fucking gods. He's yelling.
For a fact, he's the only one that could challenge Thanos.
Oh yeah.
And so not only is he the only one that could challenge Thanos normally, but he could challenge Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
That's how fucking strong Thor is. Not the Hulk, not my green fucking man, my Hulk. It's fucking Thor. Up until Thor Ragnarok, one of the weakest characters in the franchise, my opinion, as far as storyline, as far as character arc, the whole fucking shebang. Chris Hemsworth's overall performance as Thor was terrible. The best performance that he'd done up until Ragnarok was in Avengers, in the fucking woods, the woods fight scene when he shows up to fucking take Loki back. That was the best part of that whole film. And then in Infinity War, it's like, well, we started to do some good stuff with Ragnarok. Let's just grab this dial and let's turn it until the fucking knob falls off. And let's unleash him the way that you would think that character would react. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was very powerful and compelling, very emotionally driven. Thor's character was make or break for me with Infinity War. Because the Guardians were going to do what the Guardians were going to do.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's performance, in my opinion, was definitely the weakest.
Yeah.
Especially because he had some of the least screen time.
His was definitely the weakest, especially in comparison to his previous movies.
Right.
Both
Well,
Guardians
especially
movies.
Guardians 2, where it was all about him. Guardians 1 was about all of them coming together.
Yeah.
Guardians 2 was only about him. And then Yondu, obviously.
It also, I mean, okay, it was another character piece for all of them, really, because, I mean, you had Gamora and Nebula, their little thing.
But none of them would have been in that situation if it was not
you're
for
right.
Ego.
You're right.
So it was all, he was the focus of the story.
And you're right, he is definitely one of the weak.
Mantis was a stronger character in Infinity War than Chris Pratt was.
I don't know about that.
His acting was not very good. The best part of his role in that film was when Thanos makes him try and shoot her. That was very strong. That was very well done. Everything before that felt forced. Everything after that felt forced. When Thor and Chris and Star-Lord are going back and forth on the Milano, that was terrible. His acting was terrible, though.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Funny. It was humor.
You are an A-list actor. You should never have a bad performance, and that was a bad performance.
That wasn't a bad performance.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
It was a bad performance.
It was comedy.
It was not comedy. It was very... I did not laugh.
What?
One time.
You laughed with me.
I did not laugh.
You were right there laughing.
No, I did not laugh during that part. I laughed at Hemsworth. I did not laugh at Chris Pratt. I should always be laughing at Chris Pratt. I did not laugh that time.
Wow. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, the overall scene was hilarious, but every time it would focus back on what Star-Lord was doing, it wasn't funny. It felt forced.
I have to disagree, but
I mean, we do that. I'm the unpopular opinion guy. So I normally don't agree with what everybody else says. I thought Deadpool 2 was a better film than Infinity War was, and I stand by that.
speaking of,
Because I can pick apart Deadpool 2, or I can pick apart Infinity War. I can't, in good conscience, pick apart Deadpool 2. And I'm really jealous that you have that steelbook.
it's the super duper whatever that's supposed to be cut. Super duper shit cut. It's got.
I'm glad that we transitioned from the Meg, like really fucking nailing Disney and Marvel. That's what we're doing
And
here.
then on the back of the steelbook, it has Juggernaut saying hot potato.
How fucking awesome did it feel?
This is a 4-disc thing.
How awesome did it feel watching that film when fucking Juggernaut showed up? Did
It
you?
was great.
I
Which
know.
part?
I know. Well, when you first realized that the fucking Juggernaut is the big guy in the fucking cage.
Oh, I knew along those.
I did not, because there were
Really?
so many times during that prison scene where I was like, who could it be? Well, it could be this guy. It could be this guy. Might be this guy. And I'm just fucking running through it, and I'm like, wow, it's the Juggernaut the whole time. He was the first guy I thought of, and I immediately went to, it's not going to be him. That's
To
too
be fair,
easy.
I already knew Juggernaut was in the movie.
I did not.
Somehow I don't remember how I knew, but found out Juggernaut was in the movie.
You probably read one of those clickbait articles on Facebook that said,
Maybe.
secret character in Deadpool 2.
Maybe. Either way, this fucking steelbook is awesome because it's a 4-disc steelbook. It's got the 4K versions, the regular version, and the super duper cut, and then it's got the regular Blu-rays of the exact same discs.
Nice.
So like that's really cool that they included both versions on their own discs and in 4K and regular Blu-ray.
I hate it. Just give me the movie with all the stuff on it. I bought the Deadpool anniversary special edition.
I did too.
It's like are you talking about the one that came with like the stickers and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that and I opened it and I was like, why does this have more than one disc in it? It should at most have 2 discs in it. I want the 4K version and I want the fucking special features disc. I don't need a copy of a DVD. What am I gonna do with that?
See the combo cases that have the DVD version, the Blu-ray version, 4K version, whatever. When they have those different formats, for me it's been nice because then I can let my dad borrow it. Because he only had a DVD player for the longest time. So there'd be a lot of movies that I would be like, hey dude, I'd really like for you to watch this. Here's the DVD. But now he has a Blu-ray player that I actually got him the Blu-ray player 6 years ago when I got hired full time. Or no, it wasn't 6 years. It was 4 years ago. when I got hired full time at Subaru, I actually had money to like get presents for my parents.
Right.
And I got him a Blu-ray player, and he didn't set it up for the longest time. Finally, I set it up for him, and he refuses to use it.
Why?
He can't figure it out, even though it's exactly the same as a DVD player.
All right.
He can't figure. He's like, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to fucking mess with it.
Why don't you just go do it for him?
I tried showing him. He's like, because, and the problem was switching inputs. He couldn't figure out how to switch inputs from his satellite to his Blu-ray player. And I'm like, it's the same exact way as the DVD was. It's the same exact way. I don't know.
Hey, Fat Mark McGuire's got to stand his ground.
He's a stubborn old fat Mark McGuire.
That's fair. What's our comments popping?
Let's see. It's mostly Matt.
I see. Basically, my sister-in-law Nikki Chase says Hemsworth is a babe.
Yep.
Totally agree with you. His brother is not that attractive, but
Luke. What about the other one? There's Luke and Liam. I think there's Luke Hemsworth.
The one that was nailing Miley Cyrus is not a hunk. Chris
Liam?
is a hunk.
Yeah, Chris is. Liam, not so much. It was Liam. I think there's a third Hemsworth, and he is in Westworld.
Okay, thank you for telling me
Anyway, agreed. I love the cat movies and what they're doing with them are great. Winter Soldier is one of my favorites.
that. Absolutely,
Oh,
I think
I need to watch that again.
you can't
I
talk
love it.
about you can't rank the Marvel movies without putting Winter Soldier towards the top because of how well done it was.
What do you guys think of the impending MCU Marvel Fox character merger?
That was actually I'm glad that you put that in the comments because after we finally stopped tangenting, that was the next thing that I was going to bring into it because we haven't talked about it for probably a month and a half on the show. But the Disney-Fox merger is official. It's happening. So Marvel, Disney, I'm just going to say Marvel because it makes more sense in my head. Marvel is getting all of their shit back, or the majority of their shit back. So from here on out, Deadpool is going to be a Disney thing and not a Fox thing. It makes me excited for the future because I hope that in the next 5 years, that Marvel can reacquire characters like Venom and Carnage away from Sony. Because they got the majority of them back from Fox. Let's see if we can, keep shoving shit in the bag and get the really good characters. I'm really excited for the Venom film this fall. And I know you are too, and I hope that Miranda doesn't steal you away and you and I can go experience that one together because it will be, I know for a fact, I will want to talk about it on the show, and the best conversation that we have on the show is when we experience a film together.
Yes, I agree.
So, we're both big Tom Hardy fans. We're both big fans of the character Venom itself. So look forward to that in the next few months from us. But as far as the merger,
too bad Tyler. He's mine for that.
Fuck off, Miranda.
I might have to go with Tyler on this one.
Yeah, I mean,
You got me for the Meg.
yeah, I wanted to see the Meg, and now I'm not gonna see it. So, but anyway, as far as the merger goes, there's a lot of positives, and there might not be as many negatives. Disney, when the merger talk first started happening, they announced that if the merger goes through and they reacquire Deadpool, that it will continue to be a rated R film. So I look forward to that. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about is if they cull a lot of...
Hold on, Miranda. This is not a custody thing. This isn't a back and forth. Like, I get him on Thanksgiving, you can have him on Christmas. She's saying that you have me for Godzilla, so she gets me for Venom.
I'll just have you for both, and then we don't have to argue about it because I'm in the middle of a sentence right now. Good job. As far as the rated R thing goes, I think that it's good that they outright came outright and said that that it will continue to be a rated R film. The only thing that I'm worried about is if they cull if they don't bring some of the Fox people that were involved in the making of Deadpool over during the transition, and then they try and push the rated R even harder than it already has been pushed the last 2 films. I don't really know that you could do that, but I could see Disney saying, well, this is what the fans want, or this is what the fans want, and then fucking, knocking the knob off, and then it just turns into a shit movie.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think overall it's a good thing. We don't really know what's happening with the New Mutants movie that they announced about a year and a half ago.
We got a trailer for it.
We got a trailer, and then it was delayed, and then the time that it was supposed to be delayed to got pushed even farther, and then it just kind of got lost in translation with Deadpool and Infinity War. So I don't really know what's happening there.
Skylar says she would go see Venom, so maybe we could just all see it together.
Yeah, we can all see it together as a family.
There we go. Problem solved.
Maybe. Maybe I'll just go see it by myself.
You won't.
You're right. I'm excited enough for that one. I probably would go see it by myself.
See, that's why I went and saw all those movies that I saw by myself.
No,
I was super excited.
Yeah. But it's sad.
I was like, I'm not...
It's sad eating an entire, 2 large buckets of popcorn and a mega chug, and you start jacking off in a fucking theater full of people, and they're looking at you like, yeah, that guy just killed 2 buckets of popcorn.
And jacked off
And
with the excess butter.
And now he's jacking off with the excess lubrication there. It's very salty. It's slightly abrasive.
Going to the movies. Okay, so I'm going to ask this to the audience. How do you guys feel about going to see a movie alone? Yes or no?
I saw Dawn of the Dead by myself.
I saw a lot of movies by myself.
I'm not shitting on it. What I'm getting at is The Meg is not a movie that is worth me going to sit in the theater by myself.
See, I don't have an issue going to see a movie by myself. However, I just thought of this, going to the drive-in by yourself.
Oh,
that's weird.
That's lame as shit.
That's super weird. You don't do that.
Just be a regular guy. Just go grab that homeless guy around the corner and give him $3 to sit in your car so you don't look like a fucking weirdo. Which actually might make you look like more of a weirdo. So don't do that. But so what do you think of the merger? I mean, I'm not just gonna fucking exposition the whole thing.
I absolutely think it's great. We're getting some characters back. I mean, we're gonna see hopefully some characters like the Fantastic Four actually done right. Not that I really give a fuck about the Fantastic
just
Four.
Let the Fantastic Four fucking die. The only time the Fantastic Four becomes relevant is if you're gonna do shit with Doctor Doom and you're gonna fucking do shit with Galactus. That's the only time that it fucking becomes relevant.
You're right. The only thing I like about the Fantastic Four is the villains.
Thank you. The
Dr.
heroes
Doom's
are
great.
fuck. Well, Johnny Storm's cool. The fucking
Sounds
Human
cool.
Torch is cool.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
But I love Galactus. I love everything about Galactus. Galactus is awesome.
The Silver Surfer's my guy.
Yeah.
He's villain, he's fucking anti-hero, he's hero. He jumps back and forth, he's fucking doing his own thing. The Silver Surfer is one of the coolest characters, period, dot, in comics, in superhero fandom.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
And then, obviously Galactus and Doctor Doom are 2 of the coolest fucking villains.
Matt said a little while ago, I think they could even bring back Wolverine since Logan was set later into the future.
Well, see, that was the next thing I was going to bring up. So there's talks right now of bringing back Hugh Jackman.
But would he do it?
Absolutely.
He said he would do it if it was like an Avengers type thing.
Yeah. So do a big fucking movie where it's the Avengers and the X-Men working side by side, and then at the end of that film, fucking Galactus shows up and kills Wolverine. Boom. You've got Hugh Jackman coming back to the franchise, doing his swan song, fucking Galactus arrives, kills him. Boom, done. Hugh Jackman can move on from the character. Fans have Wolverine and the rest of the heroes on screen at the same time, and then he dies. He officially 100% dies. Not multiverse shit with Logan. Logan was a great film. It's one of my favorite films in the overall franchise. But that was a shit fucking way to send Hugh Jackman out.
I don't think so. What made it so shit? Let's hear it.
Well, I don't like that the villain of the film was himself.
Yes and no.
I don't like that.
It's technically his son, Draken. I can't remember.
It was himself. The way that the movie did it, it was himself. But I like that. I like the aspect of that character, of that villain, that it made Logan look at himself the entire film, because that's what I was. That's what I chose not to become. That's what I chose not to stay. And then obviously the stuff with X-23 was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
His interactions with Professor X were great. Watching him come to grips with mortality was fantastic. The film, I gave the film a 10 out of 10. 100%.
Yes.
His death scene was fantastic, and then there's the theory of...
in the Wolverine?
In the Wolverine.
Oh my... Chills.
Yeah, in the Wolverine, when she's talking about that vision, that's actually the end of Logan. I love all that. I got it fucking too. But, man, sitting at the end of that movie, I watched that movie at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and at the end of it, I didn't know what to fucking say. I didn't know what to think, because...
That was another movie I saw by myself.
One of the best actors to ever put on a superhero costume is now done. And I couldn't accept that, because as great as the ending of that film was, and as great as the overall movie was, that's not good enough to me. Some of the shit that he did in Days of Future's Past, really dug it. But that also was not good enough to fucking send Wolverine out. That is Wolverine. That is one of the most beloved characters in all of the franchises. That's almost the fucking Superman of Marvel at this point.
Yeah.
How many people love Wolverine? You gotta fucking send that guy out. And I'm not saying they did it bad, but the reason I feel this way, who are you going to replace Hugh Jackman with? There is no one. Up until Tom Hardy took Venom, I would have said, well, maybe Tom could do it. He would be my half-ass okay choice. But I don't know of anyone else that could do it. I mean, you and I have sat down and talked about this a dozen times. Brandon and I have sat down and talked about it a dozen times. We've all done it together, and we can never come up with anybody. He made that character. That character is Hugh Jackman, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
But if you bring him back, now that the franchises are whole again, you bring him back one last time for a giant crossover film like that again, and you would have everybody: the Avengers, the Guardians, the Fantastic Four. You've got the X-Men. It is the biggest of all the crossovers after Infinity War, and then you kill him. That's how you do it, in my mind. That's how you do it. We've satisfied the fans. We've brought Hugh Jackman back. We've satisfied him, because this is something that he's always been interested in. And then one of the most beloved villains in the franchise with one of the most beloved characters in history, and that's how you send him out. Or you send him out in the Dark Phoenix.
Ooh. That's another movie I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to it too. Apocalypse was terrible.
It was okay.
It was terrible, Blaine.
It was okay. It's not my favorite. I'm not going to go out and defend it.
It was not a good movie.
The most I'm going to defend it is that it was okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse.
It was okay.
Yeah, exactly. It was okay. I'm not. It was.
Jean Grey was done well.
Oh yeah, Sophie Turner did
Sophie
an awesome
Turner
job.
was good. Quicksilver was obviously fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Those Quicksilver scenes are
Magneto
so
was
good.
fantastic. I don't like the guy that plays Professor X. I don't like him.
I like him.
I don't. I just really don't.
But Michael Fassbender as Magneto.
Thank you.
Just absolutely nails it every fucking time.
But see, here's the thing
Every
too.
one of those movies.
Like you've got old Magneto with Sir Ian, and then you've got Michael Fassbender's young Magneto. Could you cast anyone else as either one of those roles? You
Absolutely
couldn't.
not.
You could not.
Absolutely
And that's
not.
where I'm at with Wolverine. Like, god damn it.
That is one of my favorite scenes in all superhero movies is when, in X-Men Apocalypse, when Magneto's family gets killed.
Yes.
And he just rages.
Yeah.
He just he murders all the police with just that necklace, that pendant.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just yelling to the sky. Again, it's just like Thor in Infinity War.
Right.
He is just screaming to the gods for his vengeance, for his... And he's like, is this what you want me to be? He's been working so hard to live a normal life and be a regular guy, and you know he's lived that past where he's had that violent past. He's had that where he's been the bad guy. He's had to do the shit, and now he just wants to live a normal life.
Yep.
And live in peace.
And that gets taken away.
And he is forced to once again do something wrong.
Do
something
bad stuff.
And he's like, is this what you want me to be?
Hit me with another beer, dude, Sock. I'll take that platinum nugs.
There you go, sir.
Thanks, my man. I'm not going to get wasty pants this episode, but I am going to have a good time. Because this is the day that I drink and have a good time.
Yeah. You did it.
I was kind of worried that it was going to explode. Like all the other beers that come out of your refrigerator fucking explode. So, I mean, I hope that answers your question. You know, the all-around music folks, I hope that answers your question. I mean, I don't really think I need to do this for people because I stand by my opinions. Excuse me.
Jennifer asked if we talked about the Meg. Yes and no. Tyler hasn't seen it yet, but I have, as I told you, and I just gave like a brief, like, you know, good or bad.
Maybe I'll see if Cameron wants to go see it with me.
Oh, hell yeah, do that.
He would probably go see it with me.
Do that.
You need to give me that card, by the way.
I do. It's right here. I left it right in here for you.
Yeah, I'll get it when we leave. Okay, or I'll take it right now.
Do it.
But yeah. So I stand by my opinions. I have a weird way of critiquing a film and critiquing performances and scripts, and you know I stand by it. Apocalypse, in my mind, was a terrible film. There were good parts of that movie. There were very good portrayals of characters and good performances. I actually didn't mind Oscar Isaac's performance as Apocalypse.
I thought what they did...
I think the overall role of Apocalypse in that film was very neutered.
Yes.
Because Apocalypse is Apocalypse for a reason. But I don't think his portrayal was bad. I just don't think they focused on the character enough.
True.
With Apocalypse, you need to do it like Marvel did with Infinity War. It needs to be his movie.
End all be all movie.
Well,
yeah.
no. What I'm saying is, Infinity War was Thanos' film. Thanos was the main character. With a character like Apocalypse, you need to do
Very
it.
Similar,
you need to do it that same way. So, I don't know.
I was very disappointed with Psylocke.
Yeah, but
I mean, B-list fucking hero or anti-hero, villain, whatever she is.
Yeah, but with the actress casting, how did you not know it was going to be that way?
I figured it was. 'Cause, I mean, she was in a lot of interviews and shit, like with like talk shows and shit. Like she was gonna be a big deal in the movie.
She's a fucking internet celebrity.
Either way, I mean, they usually side characters like that, or if you're gonna be like.
What about Archangel? You didn't complain about that?
I don't really know Archangel that well.
Yeah, he's a badass character.
I don't know a lot of the. You know me.
X-Men.
I haven't seen a lot. I I haven't
You
read
haven't
a lot
read
of the
a lot.
comics.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, and you know,
3 minutes on Wikipedia will take care of you.
I know, and that's my gimmick.
Right.
And you know, when the cartoons were out, I was just a wee lad, so I didn't really commit much of it
Oh,
to
I
memory.
fucking jacked off to that shit every day.
Yeah, I didn't commit it to memory like I did some other shows. But,
Like Kablam.
like Kablam, apparently. You remember Prometheus and Bob?
Fuck yeah, I remember Prometheus and Bob.
Prometheus and Bob. We're back to Kablam.
But no, so as much nitpicks that I have with the last couple X-Men movies, you know, I thought First Class was okay. I thought Days of Futures Past was, if Hugh Jackman would have not have been in that film, it would not have been very good.
No.
Peter Dinklage's character was pretty shitty in Days of
Yeah.
Futures Past. I don't like the guy that they cast as Stryker. I don't like that
Really?
actor. I don't like that actor. So every time he was on screen, it was like, he's making that squinting face again.
Oh, man,
I don't.
So I don't know the guy's name, but he literally plays a douchebag in every single movie he's in.
Yeah.
He's in the Friday the 13th reboot.
Yep.
It's not the same guy that plays Stryker, obviously, but anytime I see him, I just cringe because I know he's gonna be a douchebag character.
Yeah.
So I know how you feel about that.
He makes that squinty face. If he didn't make that fucking squinty face, he'd be alright.
He does the Josh Brolin face.
Well, no.
Said Josh Brolin coined that shit.
Josh
so-
Brolin does Josh Brolin face. Everyone else does shitty squinty face.
That's fair.
You can't do Josh Brolin face. You will literally internally combust.
I love Josh Brolin.
I do too.
He did such a... He said... Have you seen Men in Black 3?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I hate the Men in Black movies. They're terrible.
He did Tommy Lee Jones so fucking perfect.
Yeah, he did.
Like young Tommy
Yeah,
Lee Jones.
Josh
Holy
Brolin
fuck.
doesn't do Josh Brolin face. I'm gonna correct myself. Josh Brolin does Tommy Lee Jones face. Because Tommy Lee Jones does Tommy Lee Jones face. And we're just gonna keep saying actors' names with face behind it for the rest of this episode. Yep. So, I don't know. I'm for the rest of the X-Men films, for what's left over from Fox, and then going forward, once Disney gets a hold of it, I think it'll be 5 years. See, I don't know. It's hard to say whether we go right into the X-Men and give the Avengers a hiatus, and then we focus on all the cool shit that the X-Men and Deadpool are doing. You know, the next Deadpool film isn't going to be a Deadpool film, I don't think. I think it'll be an X-Force film. That would, especially with the way that he changed the timeline at the end of Deadpool 2, it would make the most sense to me going forward that they do an X-Force film instead of Deadpool 3.
So, with that being said, do you think in this new X-Force film, this new Deadpool X-Force film,
I will jack off.
do you... Yeah, obviously.
Go on.
Do you think we'll get more Brad Pitt?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Best cameo ever.
Yeah, best cameo ever. Well, you know fuck, I'm taking my hat off. But, you know the moment Brad Pitt popped up on screen, you and I both looked at each other like, what? It's Brad Pitt!
They couldn't have done that any fucking better.
No one knew going into that it was Brad Pitt. No one.
I didn't even know there was an invisible guy.
Oh, I did.
Maybe I did.
But they did, you know, like Zeitgeist is a cool character, is a cool, not well-known character from Marvel. So it was cool that they brought him in. You know, obviously he wasn't in the film very long. But just, I think Deadpool 3 will be Deadpool X-Force. I mean, obviously the title will be different than that, but maybe it won't. Maybe it will just be Deadpool
I was
X-Force.
gonna say, they got Domino and Cable now.
Right. And then everybody else, you know, Zeitgeist.
Peter.
You know, I would imagine they focus on him more.
I love how
It's just him dying over and
Oh
over
my
again,
God.
and then him fucking time traveling back.
They build this movie like it was gonna be like like not exactly a superhero team up, but like just a team up movie, like
Right.
where he just recruits a team and all that, and it's literally not even 5 minutes of the movie.
Right. But that's what made it great. That's what made it great,
I know,
though, because you
the
didn't
Deadpool
expect it.
movies are just marketed so fucking well.
Well, this goes back to what we said about, you know, Chris Hemsworth and Hugh Jackman and Michael Fassbender.
Mhm.
Who else could you cast as
Nobody.
fucking Deadpool
Nobody.
to do it as well. You know, a lot of people shit on fucking Ryan Reynolds for his performance as Deadpool. I don't give a shit if it's character accurate or not. It is great. It is fantastic.
It is perfect.
It's perfect.
Like,
Deadpool.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I
I
can
love
go- hold on.
Nolan North Deadpool, but fucking
Right.
Ryan Reynolds.
But I can go. Okay, so I can go to the theater and watch a Deadpool film, and not have to worry about being politically correct in 2018.
Yeah.
Because no one gives a shit. They're there to see that guy do weird fucking shit.
Mhm.
Where else can you do that? Nowhere, other than Pornhub. But so I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to move on from the Avengers.
Yeah.
Because contracts are expiring, people are starting to get stale, you know, they're running out of storylines. You know, send those people on their way, and then let's focus on the X-Men for a couple years. And then let's go back, and then let's focus on the new Avengers. And then, you know, obviously Tom Holland's young.
Oh yeah, he can play Spider-Man for a long
Let's
time.
focus on, you know, he has done, you know, I love me some Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but Tom Holland has done the best job overall.
He's done the best job of both worlds.
Yes.
Much like Ben Affleck did with Batman.
Yes. Batfleck is something that should continue. I keep saying it over and over again, but it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out, because there's going to be a paradigm shift. One of two things is either going to happen. The time of the Avengers, nice to see you, Calvin. The time of the Avengers is either going to end, and then it's going to transition to DC
He's my fake friend.
finally being in control of their shit and putting out good material.
Yeah.
Justice League was a good film. Watch it. It is worth watching. And, you know, we talked about that on, like, 10 episodes ago. So I'm not going to rehash that one out. But it's either going to be a paradigm shift and go to DC, and then DC's going to hold, like, a decade worth of films, and then they're going to have their big fucking moment. Or we're going to split the difference between DC and the X-Men, which I'm okay with. Let DC have their share of the fucking silver screen. They've earned it.
Absolutely.
That last film was well done. The cast was well done. Let them try. And I don't say that in a derogatory way, because I obviously enjoyed the last film. But let them keep going. Let's see how the Aquaman movie pans out, and let's see maybe what Wonder Woman 2, how that plays out. Let's get some Flash shit popping. I don't like the character.
I can't wait for some Flash stuff.
I don't like.
Can't wait for some Flash stuff.
What's the fucking actor's name?
Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller. Thank you. Yeah, let's get some Flash shit popping. I don't really care about Cyborg.
Yeah.
I never have. I never really liked that character.
Even in this movie where they decided to up him up to a Justice League member instead of Teen Titan.
Right.
Yeah.
I've just never really cared about that character. But yeah, let's see what happens. And then, you know, there's a rumor that's been circulating the last couple days about a new Green Lantern. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Tom Cruise
fucking
is potentially cast as Green Lantern. He is waiting on the script to decide whether or not he accepts the offer or not.
I can't remember if I've talked about this yet or not.
Wait a minute.
Go for it.
I want to go on record and say I am totally 100% on board with Tom fucking teeth out of alignment with the rest of his skull. Tom fucking Cruise as Green Lantern.
As Hal Jordan?
As Hal Jordan.
Hell yeah. I'm up for that. I guess there was like a study done that...
Have you ever noticed that though? His teeth
I haven't.
don't fucking line up with his nose. Like if you draw a line between the center of your two front teeth, it bisects your head perfectly. Tom Cruise is like a fucking inch on the other side of his
that's
nose.
not good.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to
good.
interrupt you, but I had to say that because
I
it's
guess-
freaky as shit.
I guess somebody did, I don't know who, but they did a study and they correlated the amount of the distance or the amount Tom Cruise runs in a movie to how well it does in a box office.
God damn. How did
Apparently-
someone think of that and not
apparently,
me?
I can't pull up exact statistics, but like he has to run so many miles in a movie in order for it to be successful.
Remember in Mission Impossible 2, that fucking crotch rocket fight scene?
No, I haven't seen Mission Impossible 2. I've seen the end of it. That's it.
That's the crotch rocket fight scene, you fuck!
Oh, I don't remember then.
God damn it, watch Mission Impossible 2. That's fucking young Tom Cruise.
I've never watched any of those. I'm not a Tom Cruise guy really.
Oh, I am.
It depends
I mean,
on the movie.
He's a nuts fucking Scientologist, but I love me some Tom Cruise.
I really liked Oblivion.
Oh yeah, that was great.
It was really.
There was
an
a lot.
artsier movie.
There was a lot of underappreciated movies that came out around the same time. Priest, Oblivion, Elysium.
Elysium was okay.
Elysium was good. That was a good
It was
film.
okay. I wanted it more.
That was a very emotional movie. And
Yeah.
Matt Damon did a very good job in that film.
I like Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's a douche, but I also like Matt Damon as an actor. What else am I thinking of? There was Priest, Oblivion, Elysium. What was some other movies that came out around the same time that were similar?
There was that one movie Will Smith did with his son.
Oh, After Earth!
Yeah, and
That movie was not good at all.
that came out at the exact same time as Oblivion.
Yep.
And they're both almost the exact same movie
Kind of.
on trailer.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I never watched it.
But God, that fucking the end of Oblivion, when Tom Cruise comes back, and then you have to guess like, is it a clone? Is it the real Tom Cruise? Or is it the previous clone? You don't fucking know. If it was me, I would have kept nailing the redhead myself.
It's been so long since I've seen it that like I don't remember I didn't remember that he was a clone. So way to kind of spoil it for me.
You remember the redhead though?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I would have kept nailing the redhead in my fucking Hilltop Fortress.
The Hilltop Fortress.
I did that on purpose. But that's one of those. Oblivion made me want to play No Man's Sky because of that pyramid or that polyhedron that's in space. You don't know what the fuck it's about.
Mhm.
Like, Oblivion ends and it's like, wait a minute, where did this fucking thing come from? Why is it fucking holding dominion over Earth? What the fuck happened? What is all this shit? And you don't ever find out, but it's such a satisfying movie because artistically it is so well done. The script is good. Tom Cruise does a fantastic job. All the little fucking things of that film are great. That is one of my favorite films of the last decade.
Really?
Hands down. Hands down one of my favorite movies.
And we have never talked about it.
No, because I didn't know that you'd even seen it.
Oh yeah, I saw that with my mom and my brother Brady.
I saw that one by myself. I did.
You son of a bitch!
I was really fucking excited for that
Yeah.
film.
I think it was just okay. I'm mixing another movie up that, but because my mom, whenever she was in town or whatever, she would always just be like, "Hey, we're gonna go see this movie." I'd be like, "Okay, I'll join."
Right.
That's how I saw Life of Pi. Like I had never even heard of it.
Great fucking
Oh, I
movie.
know.
That is a great film. Because at the end of the movie, it's one of those like, wait,
Was it real or did he just?
was it really
lie?
animals or were they all eating each other?
Which story is the real story? Yeah. That was a movie I had never seen a trailer for, never fucking heard of.
I saw the trailer of him and the tiger on the boat. That
Nope,
was it.
never saw a trailer.
That was so fucking well done.
Oh, I know, and like
that
I was
movie does
so
not
glad
get
I
enough
saw-
praise.
I was so glad I went and saw that movie.
Watch that rent it or buy it on Blu-ray and watch that fucking movie in 4K.
I have it.
Yeah. How fucking pretty of a movie is that in
I can't
4K?
wait.
It's
I actually
great.
haven't watched it on this TV.
Oh, it's great in 4K. It's fantastic. Especially all my gold standard of 4K viewing, because some 4K can look really shitty because it's so detailed it makes it look fake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon, especially like people don't understand that if you pay for a high definition TV package with your cable, satellite, fiber provider, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. No one films broadcast TV in 4K.
No,
it's
not
too
at all.
expensive. So that's why if you turn on an Indianapolis Colts game, like last night was one of their preseason games, you turn that on, it kind of looks shitty on a 4K TV because it's not any higher than 1080p.
Yet that's one of the ways they try to sell TV.
Absolutely.
Any TV is like, oh yeah, because like Super Bowl time, TVs get marked down.
Right. Which does make sense a little bit because it's the refresh rate. If you want to watch live sports, you want a 120 plus hertz refresh rate on your TV, then the shit looks really good. Your picture quality is going to be kind of shitty though because no one broadcasts in 4K. I mean, Netflix, Hulu, anything that you stream, they have the ability to stream in 4K.
Yes.
But as far as broadcast TV goes, it's too expensive.
I can't wait till HBO starts streaming in 4K.
Well, here's the thing.
Fuck.
By the time everybody starts broadcasting in 4K,
8K.
we're going to be in fucking like 12K.
Yeah, I know. That's how it goes.
Which is fine, you know. I don't have to buy a TV for a while. Excuse me. But I kind of got fucking sidetracked. But, so my gold standard as far as high definition viewing goes is with water.
What?
With water. We're talking about 4K TVs and Life of Pi. Life of Pi, a lot of that film is water.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like a movie called Water.
No,
or something like that. Oh, yeah.
A lot of that film is water. So if you pop in Life of Pi right now and you and I start watching it, everything that, obviously a lot of the water is CGI, but it is so detailed because it's in 4K. I'm sold. That was Life of Pi. I saw like a short clip in Best Buy when I was looking to buy my first 4K TV, and that is what made me want to buy a 4K TV. That is what sold me on buying a 4K TV. Was that, short like 30-second clip that I saw in fucking Best Buy of Life of Pi. You know when he's in the ocean and it's nighttime and there's all the whales and all the bioluminescent shit. That is what sold me on a 4K TV.
Such a cool scene. There's a bunch of scenes in that movie where the water is just like pure reflection of the sky.
Absolutely.
The scene where his uncle dives into the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that movie was gorgeous in just 1080p.
Right.
Like, fuck.
That's why I said, I was going to buy like a 70-inch 1080p TV because it was going to cost me the same as my 55-inch 4K TV. Obviously it was, holiday season, so every TV was marked down. But I was cruising, I knew I wasn't going to buy a TV at Best Buy. But I wanted to browse because they obviously have one of the largest TV selections, at least as far as here in town goes. If I'm going to buy a TV, normally I'll go to Fry's in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Mike, that's so funny you mentioned that. Mike was talking about that store today.
Yeah.
It's like a computer superstore.
Yeah, Fry's is badass. If you're going to buy anything electronic,
I want to go.
If you're going to buy anything electronic, fuck Best Buy, buy it at Fry's.
Yeah.
You'll get a better price and they have a larger selection. So, sorry all you Best Buy fanboys, you guys suck compared to Fry's. It's kind of like Sweetwater Guitar Center.
Yeah, okay.
Fry's is the Sweetwater of TVs.
Sweet.
And electronics in general.
Yeah, I definitely want to go there because he said Mike was talking.
Anytime you want to take a trip down to Fry's, let me know and I'll fucking cruise down there with you.
Right there too. Apparently.
Yeah, but Guitar Center sucks. So.
Yeah, but it's still there. It still has stuff and things.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't want to fucking nerd out on Life of Pi any longer because that movie speaks for itself. It is one of the best done movies of the last 20 years. I don't know how anybody could argue with that.
Grab another beer.
That's fair. Drink that Slurpee that I brought. A pineapple.
The pineapple?
Yeah. Go ahead and have it.
Don't you want that?
I want it, but just give me one drink of it and you can have it. It's my gift to you, my man. It's my gift to you. And you need to start laying your beers on their sides.
I don't have room.
Yeah, you do. You can fucking stack them on their side.
Oh, to actually put them on their side. I thought I wasn't supposed to.
No. Why?
I don't know. You told me not to.
No, I
I
didn't.
could have swore you did. Somebody.
No, I told you not to have them straight up and down. Because then everything settles on the bottom. If you lay them on the side, it settles on the fucking wall of the can. So when you upright it, it stirs everything up.
Oh yeah.
Is it still good?
It kind of smells like a Honeycrisp now, like Honeycrisp
Oh
cereal.
god, Honeycrisp is so good. Honeycrisp, Sugar Smacks, fucking Golden Crisp. Is it still good?
Not as good as I remember.
It's obviously been in there for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're supposed to drink this stuff as soon as you can. This isn't one you want to actually let sit.
I think it's still good.
Well.
I've got a brand new fucking platinum nugget, so you go ahead and slug that bad boy.
Slug that blackberry fresh fruit.
Yeah, I don't know how you did. The fresh fruits are disgusting.
This one got better. I had one of... So we went... Oh, story time.
Wait a minute, real quick. Did you see what I tagged you in on Facebook today?
I don't remember. Yeah, I saw it, but I don't remember.
Fucking fruity nuggets, my man.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember if I tried that or not.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we had one. And only one.
I think I didn't like it and I gave it to you.
No, we both liked fruity nuggets.
Did we?
Yes.
I don't remember at all. Anyway, so we went on a float trip this weekend down to Sugar Valley.
Did you get my picture, by the way? I asked you to give me a picture.
I did not.
You some bitch.
We'll discuss that in a bit.
That's fine.
So we go to Sugar Valley for a float trip for Nick Maxon's girlfriend Jess, and we did the same thing last year. Almost identical group of people, but yeah, we had a blast again. This year was a little more eventful though. Within the first half hour, we came across a rock we could jump off of. It was a good.
Did Dave break his neck?
No, Dave actually successfully
Jumped off a rock.
jumped off a rock into some water.
Good job.
Uh,
Good job, Dave.
it was about a 15-20 foot drop into 17-foot deep water, and so Nick was the second person to jump off, and much to our surprise, he did a front flip, and much to us not noticing, he landed very badly on his side, and it completely took the wind out of him. And not only did it completely take the wind out of him, he also had to swim back to his float. So with no oxygen, he could not breathe, and he had to swim all the way back. He was done. He was fucking done. A couple more people jumped. Jess finally jumped. We were all going along, and then very shortly after that, we were inside of a shore, and we started noticing Nick was not doing good, and then he started throwing up, and he was not good. So I feel like an asshole for this. So somebody was like, should we call 911? And like I could have swore I heard Jess say, no, don't call 911. So I heard it again, and I'm like, no, don't call 911. Apparently she said, call 911. And here I am, the asshole, saying, no, don't call 911. Let him die.
God, you're a piece of shit.
No, I didn't.
So what was wrong with him?
He, like I said, he landed wrong. So we ended up getting on shore. Someone called 911. EMS came out, conservation and DNR came out. They were the conservation officer or DNR officer was a giant dickhead. He's like, didn't you see the signs posted? No swimming, no jumping off the rocks. They're posted everywhere. We spent thousands of dollars putting those signs everywhere, and like okay, dude. But yeah, EMS came out, took his vitals, gave him some oxygen. It was a whole hour-long ordeal of what was supposed to be our 3-hour trip. And Nick declined going to taking an ambulance ride, going to the hospital, as he probably should have. So it just turns out he just hit it wrong, took the wind out of him, probably bruised his sternum.
I've cracked that motherfucker
oh,
twice.
Yeah.
So it's not fun.
No, it's hard to breathe, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, he just needed that extra boost of oxygen, just to catch him back up to normal levels. So we finally got back in the water. The officer ended up apologizing for being a dickhead too. He's like, "Hey guys, I know I came on strong, but we take this very seriously. Like a couple summers ago, we had to pull 6 people out from under the water.
Yeah.
All of them dead.
That's why you don't jump off of rocks.
Yeah. He's
I mean,
like, we
people
have these
fucking die.
we have these signs posted for a reason. If he would have taken oxygen into his lungs, that's 17 feet deep. You're not going down there. You don't know those waters. We have to dive down there and find him.
Mm-hmm.
And like he would have been gone. And so we went on our merry way, and not long after, not even a half hour, 45 minutes after that, Dave Linder's tube pops because we got into a shallow spot and it got impaled by a stick. So we had to.
That'll pop a float, folks. A stick will pop a float.
It will, definitely. So we had to sacrifice one of our cooler tubes, so Dave could have a tube, and we just wrapped a life vest around the cooler and let it float behind us. Past that, it was just a good time. No more rock jumping. We did a lot of that last year. Did a lot of it last year. No front flips. So maybe had he done like a normal, jump, he would have been
Did
fine.
you jump off the rock?
No, I did not. I did last year.
What a pussy.
Last year I did.
I don't care. You didn't do it this year.
I didn't want to.
Pussy.
It wasn't okay. The jump, that's fun. I like doing that. It's getting out of the water, completely soaked, climbing up onto a rock that you can't really get a grip of, and then climbing up some more rocks, and then climbing up some more rocks. I didn't want to fucking do that. Soaking wet.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck that. I'm just gonna stay in my tube this year.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was a good trip overall. I brought blackberry fresh fruit and strawberry fresh fruit and a Juice Busters and a Mountain Dew.
You brought 4 beers?
Brought 3 beers and a Mountain Dew.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, I sucked down the blackberry fresh fruit. I was like, God damn, that went down fast. And then I just drank it today, and I'm like, damn, that went down fast. It was just so smooth. Not the best taste. It doesn't taste as bad as it initially did, but like the whole point of me telling this flow trip story is just so I can talk about the fresh fruit, blackberry fresh fruit. Yep. It was a fun trip though. I had a pretty good weekend because we also had the Doom Room variety show Saturday night, which I got to see Mr. Nate Phillips.
I unfortunately did not get to attend.
No, Sarah and Veronica all play in Walk Among Us. There was some exotic dancing.
How was that?
Not very enjoyable. Yeah. One hand, it was super awkward because Miranda was right beside me. And I'm like, I don't know what I should look at. I've never been in this situation before. And 2, like, she just wasn't the most attractive. So it's like, I don't really want to watch this.
That's when you eat a pizza.
I had already eaten my pizza. So we're just sitting there watching this before...
The fucking North End Pub has some good pizza too.
Oh yeah, it do. I finished that.
You just say, oh yeah, it do? Sometimes it really do, folks.
Sometimes
it really
it
do.
really do.
Shabadoo.
They had a comedy act, like a very brief comedy act before I think Zephaniah went on. I didn't get to watch Zephaniah. I decided to go home because Miranda and I drove separately, but I was ready to go.
You had enough.
Yeah. I really wanted to see Zephaniah, but I was just ready.
Sometimes it really do be like that.
I wore the Heritage shirt, and it was a big hit. Dave's gonna buy one and wear them at some of yesterday's Chips shows.
Yeah, he is.
They
They won't be on very long, but he will wear them.
He will. Yeah, it was a good time overall. We ended up, I had some really good conversation with Nate outside of the bar, which he went into more detail about how the night went on and those conversations we had in this week's episode of Journey into Comics. He had a very brief, or not so brief, but like a decent heart to heart with Miranda. That was pretty cool to watch and listen to. She was having a very tough night, but
Were you touching yourself?
I was not touching myself.
Damn.
But yeah, it was a good
Those are
time.
always the best stories.
And then so the next day we woke up real early, and that was another reason I left because I had to get up early.
Well, I was supposed to come meet with you early the next morning too.
Yeah, you never even texted me.
Nope. I was fucking. I was down for the count. I had to go pick up a fish tank, and I overslept, So I've got a 36-gallon bow front in my daughter's room, and then Skylar wants that out of her room, and I've wanted to upgrade to a bigger tank for years. So I'm in the process of, planning out how I'm going to move that tank downstairs, and then I like to do this thing when I find something expensive that I want, like, instead of just saving money, I go and, like, once a month I'll buy a gift card to whatever business that is, and then when I'm ready to buy it, when it comes on sale, I already have X amount of cash on gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to worry about saving it, I just have to worry about not losing the card, which is easier for me to do because I have so many other things that I have to save money for, retirement and all this other shit. I've got like fucking 9 retirement accounts all the time, so that shit stresses me out. Buying a gift card and putting it in my safe doesn't fucking stress me out. So PetSmart had a 60-gallon fucking ensemble on sale, so stand and tank for what I would normally just pay for the stand. So I already had all these gift cards and shit, so I was like, this is a fucking deal that I can't pass up. So I went and bought a fucking 60-gallon fish tank, which is now in my throne room.
Nice.
And I'm little by little getting ready to fucking stock that fish tank and then move everything downstairs. I've got fucking driftwood soaking. I've got fucking all kinds of shit on the way. It's busy. Busy, busy, busy. Fish keeping is a busy hobby, but I enjoy it. Relaxes me. So, with everything that was going on, I fucking, got half-ass sick Saturday. I know very well how it feels like when I'm running on very little sleep. Jess posted a thing on Facebook the other day, what do you do to help not trigger migraines? Well,
yeah.
for me, if I have very little sleep and or a lot of caffeine, that will instantly trigger a migraine for me. So I used to drink 4 to 6 pots of coffee a day. Because I was running on an average of 3 hours of sleep a day. So I would get fucking migraines once a week, and it got to the point where I would have migraines that would last 3 weeks. So when I get it's different for everybody. When I get a migraine, my entire body feels like, you know what it feels like when your foot's asleep?
Yeah.
That's what my entire body feels like. I don't have any of the impaired vision or sensitivity to light, but I'm extremely nauseous. And for most people that have migraines, as soon as they throw up, the nausea goes away, and then light will make them more nauseous. I can throw up all day, every day, and the nausea won't go away, but I'm not sensitive to the light. So there for a while, I would have migraines for 3 and 4 weeks straight. And then once I started to get regular sleep and cut the caffeine intake way back, my migraines pretty much went away. I might have one or two a year now. I only had one last year while I was at Subaru, which was great. But I was running, I worked late on Friday, I got up early Saturday, I fucking did a lot of shit on Saturday, and then towards Saturday afternoon, you and I had talked about me going to the show Saturday night, and you reminded me what time it started, and I was like, perfect. I can get all my shit done, we can eat dinner, and then I can fucking cruise down there, watch Walk Among Us and hang out with everybody. And then literally right about the time that I was going to get ready, I fucking got hit with a migraine. And it's just debilitating.
Yeah.
I can deal with the light. I mean, like I said, I can deal with the light and shit, but fucking nausea is something that I can just not deal with. I have a fucking reoccurring, or a constant plaguing neck injury from fucking high school sports. That whenever I get a migraine, that fucking neck injury is amplified, and then I am just fucking down for the count. I just can't do it. I just can't do anything. So, really the only thing that I have is to go to sleep. So I went to sleep, and then fucking slept for 14 hours.
Gotcha.
So, otherwise I would have showed up, because I was really looking forward to seeing Nate and the girls, and, obviously you.
They put on a good show. I can't remember the last song they played, something like How the Gods Kill or something like that. I think that's something to do with gods. I love it when they play that song. I've only seen them play it one other time, but it's such a soft, beginning with just Sarah, and then Veronica comes in with some really low singing vocals, and it's just that, and then it just builds up, and eventually like Nate comes in and Veronica comes in, and Veronica's piano it's got a distortion pedal on it, and so it sounds that much cooler.
Right. Well, piano's badass anyway.
Yes. So once it all builds up to that, and it's just the coolest fucking thing ever, and I love it when they play that song. It's my favorite song that they do.
Make it your ringtone.
I'm not a fucking Misfits fan. I don't like the Misfits, but I like Walk Among Us.
That's cool.
I like what they do. I like how much fun they have doing it. You can see it on their faces. You can enjoy
Their performance.
it. Their performance overall. You know they're having a good time, just doing something that they love.
Are you going to the Shakedown?
Yes.
Not to change the subject.
Yes, I'll be there.
That's this Saturday, right?
No, 2 Saturday. No, it's September 7th. 8th.
So it's the weekend after
8th and
or
9th.
weekend after Labor Day.
Yeah, Walk Among Us is playing Friday night. I might not be there. We're going to the Colts kickoff concert.
Fucking lame.
I told Miranda I would go.
Yeah, you know who's not going? Me.
Originally, you said you were going to go with us.
Yeah, and then you didn't tell me when it was time to buy tickets, so I
It's
got
free.
out of it.
It's free.
Well, either way, I'm not going
Okay.
because Thursday night I'm going to a Purdue game, and then Friday night we're going to the fucking Five Finger Death Punch concert.
This Friday, yeah.
Not this Friday. Next Friday. Yeah, next Friday.
Yeah.
And then a couple days after that, I'm going to a Colts game.
Oh.
Not some shitty fucking kickoff concert.
Yeah, I don't want to go, but I'm doing it for her. Doing it for her. She does a lot of shit for me, so I'm doing it for her.
I'm a strong, independent man who don't need no woman.
But I guess the plan is she's gonna go to the Shakedown earlier in the day, set up a tent, and we're just gonna go from the Colts kickoff concert to the Shakedown and just camp.
Cool.
And so we'll just be there.
I haven't decided if we're gonna venture out that way or
Oh
not.
man, the next night is a Dwarf Among Midgets playing again. We'd be Yesterday's Chips, the Sluts, bunch of bands.
Only Human.
Only Human. Yeah, I feel like there's one or two more, but Lucifist, probably more than likely Lucifist. Huge stacked lineup. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time. I can't wait for it. Not looking forward to not having signal, but you know what? It's a show. I don't need to be on my phone.
You're damn right, you
So-
piece of shit.
'Cause I remember last year, I think Miranda and I had just started seeing each other, and I came home from the scene Between the Buried and Me with Nick, and I got home and she's like, "I'm out here. You should come out." And I'm like, "It's 2 a.m. Fuck it, drive out to Mulberry, 2 a.m. Why not?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did it.
I did it. That was a fun night.
So you told me that you had a topic. We've rambled enough. Let's get to the topic.
Mike and I today, we were talking.
Sucking each other off.
That wasn't happening.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend it was.
Damn it.
God damn.
Yeah, look, it was
Luckily, no phallic members
No.
were involved.
none of that. I was on quality. It was Mike and Tiffany.
Oh god.
So I was talking.
Oh, God.
So I was talking to Mike.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I mean, that's weird. You should have been talking to baby girl.
nah.
God no.
No. So we mostly talked about like computer parts and components and stuff. And
Did she buy a penis?
No, she didn't buy a penis. And her husband hasn't died of a
Lawnmower accident.
accident yet. Still pending.
Damn.
Death pending. But no, we somehow, I don't know how we did it, but we got on the subject of Alien.
Alien the movie?
Aliens, like Xenomorphs and James Cameron, Ridley Scott.
Fuck yeah. Two of the greatest directors of all time.
So we got on the subject of mostly Prometheus and Covenant.
Okay.
and like the inception of.
That's funny because we talked about
He said-
Prometheus and Covenant on
he
Friday.
mentioned- Oh really?
Yeah, when we were with All
We
Around
did.
Music. I'm not telling you to look at this right now, but you said computer parts, and that made me think of that.
Okay.
That's a 960 gig SSD.
It's not a bad price.
For
I got
$150
I was gonna say I got a terabyte SSD in there.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it is a terabyte.
$150.
Nice. Yeah, we got on the subject of Covenant and Prometheus, and I guess I forgot that. Oh yeah, because Matt said it was one of his favorite movies.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right. I remember now. But no, so we were talking about Alien Covenant and how it basically ushers in the inception of the xenomorph, the straight up xenomorph that we all know and love,
Right.
with a few differences. But we started talking about like where will the next one go? Like what is going to be the next one, and how is it going to lead into the original Alien? Because there's a lot of questions. Like, okay, so if David, Michael Fassbender's character, creates the xenomorph, how did this engineer ship with the actual engineer in it have a ship that has all the eggs? If David's the one that created it.
So, are you asking me this?
It was more of like a broad question that like we asked ourselves, like.
Okay.
And
So
like,
are you asking me this
Sure.
at this point?
Sure.
Okay. So
just
my
discussion. We're gonna dive into some fucking alien shit.
that's a good way. That's a good way to end the show.
Yeah.
Aliens and okay. So one that I'm gonna steal from Miranda. I'm sorry, Miranda, if you're still watching this, but Blaine and I are gonna go see The Predator together in a couple weeks.
I don't think she cares about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you. Like this is a freebie. Like him and I are gonna go see this because I'm too big of a fan of The Predator to not go see this, and you're gonna go with me whether you want to or not. So, anyway,
When's it coming out?
September. I think it actually comes out the 4th. Either way, we'll go see it in a couple weeks. It doesn't really matter. We don't need to fucking go opening night. But anyway, so I'm gonna do this two different ways. As of the end of Prometheus and as of the end of Covenant.
We're diving deep into fan theory right now, like our own fan theory.
Yes. So as of the end of Prometheus, when Severed Head David and Dr. whatever, I don't remember her name.
Elizabeth Shaw.
Thank you, Shaw. Dr. Shaw fucking escape the planet. It was LV-421, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, 421 is the one that they ended up on, which is the engineer military research base. When they exit that planet at the end of the film, you get to see the birth of the Deacon,
Yes.
is what it's named. You get to see and I don't remember the giant facehugger type creature. I think they actually
Did they actually give it a name?
I think they named it the troglodyte, but I can't remember.
Trilobite.
Trilobite, thank you.
Yeah.
Trilobite, actually. Yeah, Trilobite. So, it's weird to really break the ending of that movie down because it's like, okay, she got infected with the goo, and
her man got infected with the goo.
but then she got infected with the goo
from his goo.
From his goo. So she got infected with the goo and legitimately had the trilobite in her womb. It wasn't in her chest cavity. It wasn't in her back. It wasn't, it was in her womb, and she had to have it cut out. And then that fucking thing just grew, and was fucking 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Watching that film for the first time, in my mind, it was like, okay, this is fan service, essentially. This is like the proto facehugger. Wow, this thing just took down a fucking engineer and suffocated him.
And impregnated him.
So let's see what happens here. I didn't think at the end of that film that we were actually going to see anything, and then we get the Deacon, and then it's like, okay, cool. But wait a minute, Shaw and David just left the planet. All the black goo is still on the planet. wait, then. No, the black goo is not all still on the planet. It's in that ship. So why are they showing us the Deacon? Oh, okay, it's just fan service.
Yeah.
And then
it really just was.
as the film ended, it was like, but that's not a xenomorph. And that wasn't a facehugger. So why even show us any of this? Other than fan service, you know what I mean? So Shaw and David's head go to escape the planet. It's like they're going to find the engineer homeworld. That's what they say at the end of the movie.
That's what they're looking for.
We're gonna go find who fucked us up, basically. And it's like, why? Why not just fucking cruise back to Earth with that spaceship?
Well, she's got this idea that...
No, I get it. But, just looking at it from the perspective of somebody who's not a fan of the franchise, it's like, bitch, all of your fucking friends and family just died. Literally, all of them. Like, the guy that they flamethrower?
Yeah.
He was starting to turn into a xenomorph-esque creature. His fucking head started to elongate from the black goo. You just saw all that shit. Charlize Theron fucking just tried to murk you. You're in a ship with a fucking severed robot head. Pack your shit and fucking head back to Earth. Take you a long fucking nap and head back. Like, look at what that ship could do for fucking technology, even as advanced as technology was at that point. Real quick tangent. You talk about Lawrence Fishburne and fucking Brian Dickface Cranston, how disappointing they are in movies. Look at fucking Idris Elba.
Well, I loved him in that movie. He was
in the movie for 3 fucking minutes!
And he didn't have a big role.
But in the trailer he did?
Did he?
Yes!
Oh, shit. I don't remember the trailers.
Anyway.
I liked his character. Well, maybe that's why I didn't really mind him, because to me the trailer...
His character was very satisfying.
Dissatisfying?
No. His character was very satisfying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just the captain. I'm just here to make sure shit's going right, and then the moment shit doesn't go right,
ship.
I'm gonna fucking crash this spaceship.
My job is to pilot this ship. That was his only goal.
I'm gonna do it.
And he did it.
Yep. So, but what I'm getting at by bringing this up, like, they escaped 421, fucking zoom off into space. There was enough, and there was actually, I actually appreciated how much was shown in Prometheus, because you got to see all of the miniature ecosystems that the black goo created. You've got the fucking eel type creatures, you've got the worms that are fucking cruising around on the ground. You get to actually see how that goo alters an ecosystem. And then when you see people start getting flamethrowered and shit, and fucking trilobites cut out of people's wombs, then it's like, okay, we don't need to just focus on the xenomorph. Like, there is so much... Like, that eventually was created from all of this shit that's happening right now. And then you get to Covenant, and Shaw's dead, which pissed me off.
Yeah.
That was very disappointing. I really liked her. I really liked the actress's performance as Shaw. I'm not a big Charlize Theron fan, so anytime anyone can eclipse Charlize Theron in a movie, I'm very satisfied. Because she has the same... I mean, watch Charlize Theron in Hancock, and you've got her in every other film she's ever been in.
Yeah.
Same facial expression, same fucking tone, monotone, just pissed off all the time. Just not a very good actress. She's hot, no doubt, but just not a very good actress. So we open up on Prometheus, or on Covenant, and it's like, we've got a good cast of people. They've actually got some military people with them right now. Let's see how this plays out. And by the end of... So, time out real quick. How did you feel about the protomorphs, the gray ones?
They were interesting. Like, I was...
Were they a satisfying kind of stop in the evolution to the xenomorph for you? Because I was really fucking intrigued, and there is a deleted scene where, when they leave the temple to go jump on the ship, and the xenomorph is chasing them out of the temple. the way that scene was originally shot, and it's a deleted scene now, but the protomorph, the one that's left alive, is running at them from the other direction. So you have the protomorph running towards them, the xenomorph running down the stairs, and then the protomorph and the xenomorph actually fight as they fucking fly off of the planet.
Yeah, I remember watching that. Yeah, the protomorph was interesting. I found them kind of annoying, and they were more of an inconvenience. I mean, obviously an inconvenience because it was fucking murdering everything. But I don't know. They just didn't seem.
So the reason I asked that is because the backburster scene, when the protomorph initially bursts out of that guy's back, that's total fan service. That's total fucking Aliens novel / Alien AVP comics. That is fucking fan service 101. That motherfucker bursting out of that guy's back. And then they just start to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
You know? I really like that they continued the black goo being what fucked this planet up on why all the life is gone.
David just fucking unleashed everything.
Yeah, David just unleashed it all, and so that scene, rewinding again.
Yeah, he didn't even give them a chance to like to talk to him or anything. He didn't figure anything. He's like, you came to fuck us over. I'm here to fuck you over.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that he didn't at least communicate with them.
Yeah, same
before
here.
he started fucking nuking them, you know. But so anyway, fast forward, the protomorph, I really liked the way that it was done. I thought it was interesting. How did you feel about the xenomorph being the size of that beer can and then being fucking 9 feet tall in 30 seconds?
This is one of the things Mike and I argued about today. I was like, it wasn't your typical xenomorph.
It was not a xenomorph. I would call this a proto-xenomorph.
Exactly. I was like, it wasn't your typical xenomorph. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I mean, it just popped out of the egg or it popped out of the guy's chest and it was a xenomorph already.
Yep.
He was like, well, that's how they all do it. I'm like, Mike, no.
They originally start
this is a typical
xenomorph head, snake body.
This is typically how a conversation with Mike goes. Love you, Mike, but this is how it goes usually. You start talking to him, and he'll be dead set on what he believes and will not. So
eventually, you can change his mind.
Eventually, hopefully. But so I was like, no, there's the chest burster, and then it cocoons itself into a xenomorph.
Mm-hmm.
And it molts into a xenomorph.
Correct.
He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, because he initially thought I meant like the face hugger. That's what turns him. I'm like, no.
And it depends on what the animal incubates in, on how it
comes out,
ends up as a xenomorph.
Yes.
So Alien 3, you've got the dog alien, smaller, faster, a lot more lithe and limber, versus the fucking xenomorph popping out of people,
which is typically considered the drone.
Yes.
The drone or
well, actually, no. It's the warrior.
And yeah, in video games it's the warrior, but in the movies it comes out as a drone. So
yes, I was going back to some AVP Extinction.
Yes,
such a good fucking game.
Love that game.
Yeah,
I love that. There's the mission at the very end of the Predator campaign where you had to fucking take out an alien hive that has a pred alien queen.
Yep.
Not pred aliens, pred alien queen.
Yep.
I was like, holy fuck.
God, such a satisfying name. All three of those campaigns were fantastic.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't want to go down the AVP Extinction rabbit hole because we'll be here for another hour because I fucking love that video game.
Same.
Drop your beacon, boys. Did you ever have like a bunch... I have to ask you this. Did you ever have like a bunch of the comm guys with the submachine gun? Like, they were cheaper than making like actual Marines, so you just made a bunch of those to fill fucking unit space?
I don't think so.
And then if one of them died, you could still call down shit. I did all the time. I would have like 4 of them in my fucking group, so when one died, I just called some more shit down.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember playing the Marine campaign.
It's kind of like Command and Conquer, where you have the fucking if you're the USSR, They have a resource gathering fucking tank that's got a little machine gun on the top.
Oh yeah.
So I would just rush people with like 700 of those instead of building tanks and shit. I would just rush people with that. They could never win.
We'll have a whole discussion on these games.
Yeah, we will.
So
anyway, yeah, I mean,
I was not a fan of that. That clearly showed me. I was like, okay, this is not your run-of-the-mill.
this is basically
alien. This is not your xenomorph.
excuse me.
This is definitely something that because first of all, there was no queen.
Well, Shaw was the queen.
Shaw was essentially the queen. Yeah. She only laid 2 eggs. 1 egg, 2 eggs.
4 eggs.
4 eggs. There's 4 of them.
4 eggs.
Okay.
That's why at the end of the film, when Shaw and Tennessee are getting put down for their naps, not Shaw. You know what I'm saying. The Shaw replacement and Tennessee are getting put down for their naps. Not only is David fucking cranking out embryos into those cabinets of people, of fucking colonists.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that he fucking... Yeah, there was 4... I think there was 4 eggs. Total.
Okay. Well, so today Mike and I were discussing like our theories on how the next one's going to go. And we think one of those embryos is a queen. Because he's on first of all, he's on a ship that has like over 2,000 settlers, so that's 2,000 bodies. Think if one of those is a queen, something that he thought up to, continuously crank these things out. It's perfect. So we think the next movie is going to go into that. He's going to create the queen, and somehow that queen's going to turn against him because it's an animal, essentially, and it's going to kill him, and like he's already loaded up a ship full of these eggs. The ship we see an alien, and like with one of his last dying moves before like the queen kills him or something blows up, or the hero of the movie blows the shit up or something. He's gonna send out those ships, and there's gonna be several of them.
Oh, so you're saying he gets to some other engineer planet?
Yeah, because he's got control of that ship now.
Right. So he gets to whatever engineer planet that he wants to go to, starts cranking out fucking aliens, and then when it's all said and done, he sends out more engineer ships.
They're basically seeds.
They're
seeds.
Yes. I like that. The only thing that I have a problem with where we're at right now in the kind of mythos is where do the Yautja, the predators...
Yautja?
Yautja?
I always call them Yautja.
Y-A-U-T-G-A. But where do they fit into this? Because they've been hunting this species for a long fucking time. So you have to justify that somehow. You can't say that David created the xenomorphs when the fucking predators have been hunting them for generations.
It depends on what's canon and what's not.
Right.
Now, at this point, AVP is not canon anymore.
Since when?
The movie AVP is not.
Well,
canon.
the movies have never been canon.
But I don't know.
But the comics and all the books and shit have been canon for 25 years.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work because
I love that theory, and if I was gonna rattle off a theory, I wouldn't do it any different than that.
yeah, these.
Okay, so especially with the way that Covenant ended, you have that fight scene between David and what's the other android's name?
American David.
I
can't remember his actual
I
name.
can't remember his name either.
It was weird hearing Michael Fassbender with an American
But it was
accent.
so satisfying. Like,
yeah.
He is sacrificing himself over and over again for that female doctor, the human. And it's like, wow, we're actually getting a connection here. It's going to be him and fucking Tennessee, which is fan service for Dallas, in the original Alien. And then her, who's supposed to be that Ripley type character.
Yep.
Shaw was Ripley in the first
Yep.
one. She's Ripley again. They're never going to replace Ripley. They're never going to match Ripley. But they have to get close in every film. Otherwise, it's not an Alien film.
Do you think they'll ever do anything like with Ripley's daughter character from Isolation?
No. especially because right before Covenant came out, Neil Blomkamp that did District 9 and Chappie and Elysium, he was signed to basically retcon the Alien franchise, pick up right after 2 left off with an older Corporal Hicks and an older Ellen Ripley, and then continuing that on. They got the funding as soon as they started writing the script and doing pre-production. It got canceled. So I don't know that it would be worth it to dive into any of those other characters with Ridley Scott rewriting everything all over again. You know what I mean?
I definitely...
because you can take this 2 different routes. If you give Ridley Scott $50 billion to finish Alien the way that he envisioned it, which is what he's doing right now, and then you give James Cameron $50 billion to pick up right after Aliens, the best film in the franchise, 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
You give him $50 billion to say, hey, I want you to pick up right where Aliens leaves off, and I want you to finish this franchise in 2 movies. They're going to be very different films. They're going to be, obviously Cameron and Scott are both fantastic directors. Top 10 greatest directors of all time, in my opinion.
I wonder what the Rolling Stone would say.
Fuck the Rolling Stone.
If anybody wants to know, please go watch All Around Music Podcast, episode 99, featuring us.
Us!
we read a couple top 100 artists of all time.
It was pathetic.
Rankings, and yeah, it was very pathetic.
So, but what I'm getting at is, you're gonna have polar opposite directions.
Yeah.
Where the franchise goes and then ends. I don't know that I 100% like the way that Ridley Scott is taking it, because when he announced to fans that he was going to be directing Prometheus and how it tied into the Alien franchise, it's like, okay, we are finally going to get some answers. We are finally going to know what the fuck's going on, where these things are coming from. And at the end of the Prometheus, I'm sure you were just like I was pissed.
I was just like, what?
I just fucking sat through this whole thing.
I gotta wait for another movie.
It was awesome. No. It was awesome getting to see an engineer.
Yeah.
Such an important fucking character, or a species between aliens, predators, and engineers, and then humans are stuck right in the middle.
Do you know what they were called before they were called engineers?
Mm-mm.
Space jockeys.
Oh, yeah. Well, the one in Alien
Yeah.
is called the Space Jockey.
Yes.
It's got that fucking elephant-type helmet.
Yeah.
With the trunk and shit that's really weird looking.
But you later find out it's all
just a suit.
It's not even just the suit. It's it's literally the little seat that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was so disappointed. I liked Prometheus, but at the end I was so disappointed, especially because I had to wait for another film. And then my dad and I went and saw Covenant the day before I got married. And I loved it. I was fucking wound up. It was an alien movie for me.
Yeah.
But still,
I wish they would have just called it Covenant, not Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
They would have stuck with the theme like Prometheus had. Prometheus,
it would make
Covenant.
it a little bit easier.
Because they're naming it after the ships.
Right.
I really, overall, I love these movies. I love the mood that they
It's very
set.
somber.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
not fucking sunshine and daisies.
it feels good to watch, to be immersed in that mood for the duration of those movies. As odd as that sounds,
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, you get immersed in what you're watching,
Yeah.
and it makes it, because of the the musical score and the way shit's written, it makes it very easy to get immersed into the story that you are digesting. You don't have to try to get into those movies. You're either into them or you're not. You either fall into that mood or you don't. And I think it's really easy. The people that don't like those movies because they can't adjust to that, kind of range of emotion and accepting kind of that writing style. I have to go back and point out more, though, how important the heroine character is
Yes.
to all of these franchises. Both actresses, the one that played Shaw and the one that played the other one, I can't remember her name. They did such a good job. The films would not be worth watching if you did not have that heroine-esque character. You know, because they're always trying to emulate Ripley. You know, Sigourney Weaver did a lot of shit in her career. That is fucking Sigourney Weaver. That is Sigourney Weaver at her best. That did so much for female actresses. Or just for actresses in general. You know, it gave them... Sigourney Weaver made those movies. You know, even shitty 3 and 4, they were still decent. Her acting was very well done. She gave young women something to look up to, a strong, powerful character that wasn't just all muscle or all brains. It was a regular fucking person finding a way to survive. She did it over and over again. And I mean, whether you like Prometheus, whether you like Alien Covenant or not, it doesn't matter. You have to give the directors, or the director and the producers, credit for continuing that theme of having that heroine character, because they did it, and they keep doing it, and they're doing a good job of it.
Oh, yeah. So, to wrap things up, where do you think it's going? What do you think is going to happen next?
So I think it's going to go one of two ways. We're either going to pick up right where, or like maybe a year or 5 years after Covenant left off, and David is somewhere with fucking aliens imprisoned. You know, it's got the AVP type where the queen is basically fucking shackled, cranking out eggs, and, you know, David is taking the eggs and then not letting them fucking impregnate anything until he's ready, you know, however he's doing that. Stockpiling, thank you. Or, the next movie will not be David-centric at all. David won't even be in the film. It'll be like a decade after David has crash-landed somewhere, and then fucking engineers find what he's been doing. It'll either be all about David, or it won't be about David at all. That's an easier way to say it.
Okay. I hope they keep going the David route, because, once again, love Michael Fassbender.
I want to see like Hispanic Fassbender. I want to see like Eastern European Fassbender.
Okay. Hispanic Fassbender.
I want to see Hispanic Fassbender.
That'd be hilarious.
I want to
American Fassbender was hilarious.
I want to see another android, because that's part of what the theme of these films is artificial intelligence interacting with human life versus alien life.
Yeah.
You know, you've got what's his name from the first film that I can't remember?
Bishop.
No. Bishop's second film.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even remember.
The one that goes nuts. Anyway, and then you've got Bishop in the second film, which is so different from the android that I can't remember from Alien. They're so different, but technology has changed so much in that 40 years that it's so much better. And then you have David, which is supposed to be before all of this. You know, way before Alien. It's like, okay. But the theme throughout all these movies is human versus alien life and artificial intelligence versus human life, and how it's a triangle. You know, no different than Xenomorph, Predator, and Engineer. The theme is triangles. So, I expect a really strong android presence besides David again, because it would only make sense. You know? You're not just going to have a movie about David and aliens. I mean, there's no script there. Oh, I laid some more eggs today. You can pick them up about 9:30. Okay, thank you. I'll be there about 9:45 to pick up your eggs. Don't bite me when I get in there. You know, that's not a script. That's dumb. You know?
Yeah.
So, you have to have the human element in there somewhere, and then you have to have that human element versus artificial intelligence.
Whatever happens, it's gonna happen, you know. Yawn. Ridley Scott has a plan, and he's gonna go somewhere with it. And you
Do
know,
you think he actually has a plan?
I don't know. You see,
Or do you
originally,
think he's pulling this shit off the cuff? Because
I
I
think-
think he's pulling it off the
yeah,
cuff.
I do too. Because originally, after Prometheus, he said, "Oh yeah, next movie we're gonna go far." Because this wasn't supposed to be. It's in the alien universe, but it's supposed to go. The direction he was wanting to go was away from aliens. He was wanting to go farther into that universe without interacting with the aliens, but it's still being in that universe. So
Right.
he's like, "I want to go farther away." And then the next movie was literally an alien movie.
Right.
It's like, okay. No. Alright, we gotta start wrapping things up.
It's rappy time.
It's rappy time. So,
I'm gonna let you handle the plugs
Once
today, because
again-
I'm gonna go piss.
alright, go for it. Once again, so we got that giant announcement that we're moving to our own feed. We're still gonna be part of the Journey into Comics Network. I just want to reiterate all of this because I think it's important for you guys to know, so that way, if you want to still listen to us, you can subscribe directly to us at Podcastrophe. It'll be on Podbean initially. We're going to move to iTunes and Spotify. I don't know how many services we're going to be on, but definitely iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean under the Podcastrophe name. So that being said, you can subscribe directly to us, and if you want, I mean, say you only listen to us on Journey into Comics Network, you don't want all those other shows. I don't know why you wouldn't. They're excellent shows. They're all excellent shows. But if you want just Podcastrophe, you can subscribe just to Podcastrophe as soon as we get that feed up and everything. So, yeah, us having our own feed is going to allow us to grow. It's going to allow us to put out a lot more content throughout the week, in terms of the audio show, in terms of everything, really. We won't have to worry about stepping on other people's toes. It'll just be a good time. And, we'll be able to interact with the fans more. We're going to start putting out our own, more merch and stuff more. Yeah, it'll be a good time. So, that being said, if you haven't already, please subscribe to us on the Journey into Comics Network at journeyintocomics at podbean.com. Journeyintocomics.com, you can see all of the shit. You see all the shows with all their logos and all that. You get a better look at what's going on with the network. So,
Serious question.
go for it.
What would you have done while I was creepily hanging out next to your skull if I just, silently snaked my tongue inside of your ear?
I would have flipped. I would have. One of those.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that real quick. Kind of break your spiel here.
Okay. So yeah, subscribe to Journey into Comics Network on Podbean, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and then you can check
We have
us-
to say Stitcher Radio 7 times
Yeah,
because we
Stitcher
always
Radio.
forget to say it 7
Stitcher
times.
Radio, Stitcher Radio.
Please stop.
I'm gonna stop. Other than that, you can check us out live on Facebook, on the Podcastrophe Facebook page, every Tuesday, roughly around 5:30 or 6. We have T-shirts. I've been linking them. There's the Journey into Comics Network store on Teespring. I am currently wearing a Rolo The Destroyer T-shirt. I have a Heritage T-shirt right in front
How
of
do
me.
they fit?
They fit
That's what
pretty well.
fans want to know. How do they fit?
I'm wearing a medium. All my shirts are mediums. They're really snug, and I like it.
They're
it this
very
way.
snug.
Snug in a
So
good
they
way.
fit a little small.
I mean, yeah, they're fitted.
Your
tees.
medium is actually a schmedium.
They're fitted tees.
Okay.
So.
That's what I was
I'm
getting
comfortable in them. It's not too tight. I have a few small shirts and they're too tight. I only got them because that's all they had. And the only time I ever get T-shirts nowadays is at concerts or shows. So if that's all they have and I really want it still, I'll get it.
Okay.
But
I remember when I fitted in a small when I was about 8 years old.
I don't want to fit in a small.
Well, if you actually worked out, you wouldn't.
I work out.
You don't.
I work out.
You don't.
I work.
If you and I worked out together, you would be throwing up at the end of it.
I want to work out together.
Well, find some time and we'll do it.
Anyway, so I think
Did you
that's
talk
it.
about the donate button?
Oh yeah, we got a donate button. It's the shop now button on our Facebook page. Eventually that's going to be an actual shop button, but right now it's a donate button.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to donate money directly to us, feel free. You don't have to, but it helps us out.
We appreciate it.
We are completely creator driven.
Artist owned,
artist owned,
funded.
artist funded, as he said. You know, we pay for everything on our own. Anything helps. So feel free. You're not obligated whatsoever. You're still going to get this content regardless of if you give us any money. But it's just welcomed and appreciated to the max.
I have a couple things to say. Sorry.
Go for it.
So, episode 55, I want to reiterate that again. That is our goal. That will be our last episode on the main Journey into Comics network feed. So, episode 56 will be our first episode on our new feed. That's the tentative plan, right?
My plan was to, you know, officially make the move on episode 55, but keep
That's what I'm saying.
keep episodes.
Yeah,
going
we'll
on.
have a couple weeks basically of backlog where it gets uploaded to both feeds.
Yeah, that way we can make sure people get the message.
And we'll
get moved over.
We'll have to iron out the kinks, you know, being on our own feed and all that. But so episode 56 is our plan to be the first episode on the new feed. Episode 56. So the moment we go from the main network feed to the solo feed, our plan is to have all of our backlog of live streams / episodes uploaded to YouTube. I'm looking at you, Blaine.
Yep.
Holding you accountable for doing the thing that we said we would do. So you'll be able to check us out on YouTube. We haven't quite decided what username to look us up at on YouTube, but we'll get that figured out by episode 56. And also, stay tuned for the potential of us streaming on other services. There might be a potential for you guys to check us out on Twitch, and maybe a couple other places. We haven't quite decided yet. We need to have a couple fucking creator-driven meetings to decide where we're going to go in the next 6 episodes, but our plan inevitably or ultimately is to stream to multiple services at the same time. We haven't quite decided how we're going to do that yet, so just work with us. It's a trial by fire. We will eventually figure it out. Like everything else that we do, we just kind of do it, and then if it works, we keep doing it. So bear with us when we try to do new things. We're just fat dads in white T-shirts. I mean, am I wrong?
You're not
We're
wrong.
both fat guys.
And we're both wearing white T-shirts.
We're both wearing white T-shirts today. And we didn't plan this either.
Nope.
We just showed up. I like recording from the fucking casting couch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I might make the next guest sit up there and then another guest fucking
I mean,
me off
Rolo
over
sat
here.
there.
Yeah.
That worked out just fine.
Yeah, he did.
Except for that time that I had to get on my knees to, you know, mess with the cables, and then I looked like I was
And he was,
blowing him.
well, you know, because if he would have sat down here, he would have, like, we would have suffocated from all the vape.
Yeah, true.
With him sitting up there and that vent being right there, I mean, it saved our lives.
Alright, guys.
That's all I have to say today.
That's all I gotta say. I'm done. We went kind of long again today. Oh well.
All done.
All done. If that is all, that is all. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks you guys for listening. We will see you next week, either Tuesday or you will hear us next Thursday.
Maybe sooner. We might have a hangout or two. We don't know.
We don't know. Tune in. And please, make every day a big dick day.
Do it.
Bye, guys.
That wasn't a bad episode.
Twas not. Alright, live feed. All one of you that's still here. We will see you next week. Bye, guys.
I thought for not being prepared and not having